Just put it like a fist in front of your face. Just angle it right there. All right. What up? Welcome to your morning drip. I am your host, Ronan Rock, here with another amazing episode of Portland's best damn morning show. And I say that with nothing but pride. We got a special guest in the building today. Make some noise for Rashad Floyd from Heart and Hustle Productions.
Say that thing, boy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, we knocking shit off of the table.
Don't worry.
We rumbling in there.
This is supposed to be Ian, and he falls down every episode now.
Come on, Ian.
So,
we work on that balance, baby.
Yo, he even got a chair and still be crippled. Dude, man, I am so happy to have you on the show today. This is going to be amazing. Uh-oh. Oh, you trying to get his angles right? Gotta get them angles.
Jesus.
Yo, man, Jesus always making everybody look good.
Jesus got that
besides
Billie
me,
Eilish.
Apparently, I be letting you be ashy on camera.
Yo, dude, I threw on the lotion today. I found it.
You can't do that.
Oh man,
You can't be ashy on the show, bro.
I'm trying not, but you know, like
I know we March. I know it's not like February's over.
Hmm?
You definitely can't be ashy during February.
No, man. Yo, bro, Biggie said it
Trying
best,
to
from
move
ashy
forward.
to classy.
100%.
That's what I'm trying to do.
What's up with it?
Nothing, man. I'm so excited to have you on the show, man. Especially because, all right, first off, shouting you out because you supported the show from like the beginning. And I remember we were like talking about the show. I think you were interviewing Ian for something. And then you came in and you saw the art and you're just like, oh yeah, I need all that.
All that. Give me all 10. Now look, I've always, soon as I see a brother doing something like that they love doing, sister, community, anybody that I see independently, like as an entrepreneur, putting their effort towards something that they believe in, I rock with you.
Dude, and
I'll take the bag out of the car and give it to you. Feel me?
Yo, man, I also appreciate not only did you like buy it and just like put it in storage to the side, you put it in your office like in the prime, like hanging up
Centerpiece,
there,
bro.
Dude.
Black art from the homie, and I didn't even know you,
dude. Bro, appreciate.
I was introduced like this, the homie. I was like,
oh, you know that's not our first meeting, right?
Yep.
That wasn't our first meeting. We met out in the struggle.
We met, yeah, we did meet in the struggle.
Yeah, bro, we were out there during the protests.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Dude.
You know, that was the first time I threw myself into the Portland community.
Yeah.
Because I'm normally like I'm on the road, back with the fam, and when I'm home, I'm at the crib.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been able, like, there's some really good people that live in Portland. Like, I love the culture, I love the community, I love us out here.
Yeah.
But I don't get out. You know what I mean?
Dude.
My head is down. Got my shorties, got wifey, got the business. You know, and then because when I travel, that's my travel. You know, like that's.
And you be
I'm out there
traveling.
doing it. Yeah.
First off, where are you from?
I'm from Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah, from the town.
Okay.
Yep.
I
born
see.
Born and raised in the Bay.
Dude, from your last few Instagram posts, man, make you think you from Boston, bro. Yo, bro, just because you did a couple of, because you did all these campaigns.
Hold on, I look like I'm from Boston?
No. Your post on IG, because you were doing a campaign, and it just kept talking about Boston. And
no, bro, never Boston.
You didn't do any work. Baltimore.
It's a big difference between Boston and Baltimore.
I mean, they both start with B.
Hey, you got folks out there on the streets stomping right now, ready to protest the show.
Man, if they know how many things I get wrong, they'd be fine. They're just like, all right, word.
That's funny. But now you know.
Now I know.
You can make a shirt of that. Baltimore,
not Boston.
or Boston. Or Baltimore, not Boston.
Okay.
That's like saying Ben Affleck or Denzel Washington.
No, that's not.
100%, bro.
That's not. No, don't make me look like that much of a fool on my show that quickly from being on. You only been on like 3 minutes and you already
all right.
Yo, bruh.
I'm done.
Dude. Yeah, man. So first off, tell the people who you are. Let them know so we can just get that baseline started.
I am.
And you can move this mic with you. Just make sure it's right in front. Because we want to make sure you crispy.
Crispy.
Yes.
Like a 6-piece.
2-piece and a biscuit.
Bro, I'm Rashad Floyd from Oakland, California. Born and raised, the youngest of 3, older brother, older sister. And My dad is from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Oh, my family's from
gutter,
Sugar Lot, Mississippi.
Like the mud. We talk about coming from the mud, like from the mud.
All right.
Mom's is from a small town in Albuquerque, like just outside Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
And they both moved to Oakland in the 60s because coming from Gulfport, Mississippi to the Bay, Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco, it was a different planet. Bro, we talking about still segregation. Like we talking about in the 60s in the dirty.
Yeah.
In Gulfport, Mississippi. So you go to the Bay and you're like, oh, I could feel a little bit of the freedom to be who I am and to go where I want to go and do the things I wanted to do. And like, oh, and it was during like the Black Panther. Like that's when things was just like, bro, you can speak up now.
Yeah.
And you got a little bit of time before you get whooped.
A little bit. I think the difference from the South and the West Coast is that the racism is in the South. Like it's just expected. It's like how you doing, sir? How you doing, boy?
Right in your face.
In Oakland, it's like it's Oakland.
It's hidden.
You ain't calling me boy.
Right.
Like you don't want another Rodney King riot.
Because I'm ready to get with you.
Yeah. And
it's wild to think about. That's why when we were alluding to it a minute ago about where we met and being on the streets and it being 2020 and the protests and everything cracking off, because that whole time I'm thinking like, wow. I remember my parents talking about the era that they grew up in that generation and literally experiencing the MLK civil rights movement, like that whole era. And I remember when we were going through our little generational civil rights movement, and Portland was one of the epicenters of like getting it cracking every single day. I remember realizing like, wow, we're going through our own.
Yeah.
Like no justice, no peace, like a movement in this era. And I was like, man, that's like, I remember what my folks used to tell me about the time that they had. That's why I had to get up out the house. First couple of days I was at the crib.
Dude, I didn't want to go.
Like, whoa.
I didn't want to go. My girl dragged me, my white girlfriend dragged white.
Ooh.
She took me out, she's like, you don't want to go? And I was like, I don't want to be around a bunch of white people sitting up here yelling out for black people's freedom. I don't want to do that. Yep. And then we went out there, and the thing that got me was white people were off rhythm. We were at the
because the chants were swaggy.
Dude,
if you ain't never seen black culture create something out of nothing, it is going to a march, like a march led by us. And seeing how even the chants have swag and rhythm to it. And they was out there like, and that's our generation though. Like our generation was popping their collars while they was talking about no justice, no peace.
Yeah.
Everybody want to be black until the cops come. Everybody want to be black until the cops come. Like they was making albums on the street.
I just love the fact that we had to have like a line of people being like, all right, clap on the beat, clap on the beat. Don't get off. Hey, Martha.
It brought us closer. It brought us closer together, and I think it helped us understand one another more, because there genuinely was a large population of the white community that were out there really for what they felt in their heart. Like they finally, I feel like a group of them, not everybody, but a group of them really felt like this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like this is not, I gotta stand for something, and I'm willing to really maybe bleed a little bit and sweat a little bit and be a little uncomfortable to really fight for something I didn't think really existed like this, but it's in my face and it doesn't feel right. But of course there's a whole nother side of that. But I thought my experience within that was, it showed me a different side of Portland in multiple dynamics, right? Like we saw the folks that were fake. We saw the folks that was like, cool, I'm gonna come out there for a day to get a picture, get my IG cracking.
Yeah.
There's people that were out there from day 1 to day 109.
Yeah.
And then there are people that was watching.
And that was the thing that like drove me nuts about being out there, especially the first time I went out, was that saw all these people, saw the people starting to like, speak and talk. And it was very early on. It's like there was like maybe 1 or 2 marches that happened. Maybe the Burnside one happened, and then I was out the next one. And it was just crazy to me when I saw certain people that I've seen in the community forever just get pissed. Black people just get pissed. Like, I've known you from the barbershop, we've been in there X amount of times. We've talked about random stuff, but I didn't know you, and I see you now, like leading this part of the march, going off, making the chant, making the slogan, and that was the thing that like touched me, and made the ice melt around my heart of being like, yo, all these white people gonna fuck it up. All these people are just doing it for like X, Y, and Z reasons. They don't really care. They're just, and I was like, nah. Like even if that's it for some of them, the genuine people out here doing it, I feel them. Mm-hmm. And so after that, I was big on just like, I have like all the sound equipment, everything. Remember the sound truck, and I just
So how do we ran into each other? How?
So
what do you remind me?
All right, so we were on the Fremont Bridge. And that was the craziness. And I think I had a drone, you had a drone, and we were just going back and forth. And I was just like, yo, who's the other brother with the drone? And they're like, and Dustin Tolman was like, oh, that's Rashad. Rashad's that dude. And I was just like,
Dustin said that?
Yeah. And I was just like, word. Like, what do you mean? He's like, nah, man, like he films everything. So like, this is about to be a movie. And I was just like, oh, word, yes. And then
that's when you came up. He was like, yo, if you need some extra drone footage.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Because I was just, I just know that like these moments in time, even though everyone captures them on their phone and everything else, that archival footage that needs to be then expressed later on, like we need to have that. And I remember during when Trump got elected, I flew my drone around and just followed one of the marches that was going on in the town. And it was crazy to me because I posted it, and then within like 15 minutes, it got like 20,000 likes.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, word. Well, I wasn't doing it for that reason, but that's cool. And I was like, didn't see anyone else post video like that. Mm-hmm. And like told it from like a non-biased point.
The quick turnaround, I think, is what was captivating. Mm-hmm. Like that's what really people really were engaged in, was the quick turnaround. Like, so I brought the camera out there, told the fam, talked to my son, talked to my daughter, said, this is what's going on, this is what you see on TV. Gave them mom and dad's perspective, helped our kids shape their thoughts to what's going on, because that's a really influential moment to the words that you're putting into your kids' heads to support what they're seeing, to explain and express what they're watching on TV, that during their lifetime, it was like, this is like, what? This is crazy. Now I'm really talking about race. Mm-hmm. And I'm understanding the conversations that are being had are conversations that now that I think about it, some of that stuff was happening in front of me and I didn't know how to explain it. Like our kids, it helped them, it opened their eyes.
Yeah.
To bring focus into what they had experienced already. And so, you know, a couple of days into it, I just told him, I said, yo, Dad's going to go capture this moment. If I'm a real storyteller, if I'm a filmmaker, if I use photography to help shape expressions and tell a story, then I got to get out here. I got to get on the street with my folks. So it was an opportunity for me to be part of the movement, boots on the ground, while helping document something that you don't see every day. And what I got from my experience within that, looking now, not in the moment, but now looking back years later, it felt like everybody came out of their house
literally
with an opportunity to scream, to express themselves as loudly as they've wanted to. It, whether you were about the movement or not, I felt like, especially why Portland was so heavy-handed for weeks after weeks after weeks, the most consistent out of any other city in the country, was because whether you were for the movement or you just wanted an opportunity to get out and feel like your voice is being heard. Because not everybody has the opportunity on a daily basis for their voice to be heard in a way that's influential.
And it's Portland's special because we're so small that people didn't realize that, like, yo, you can walk from the heart of downtown out to essentially not the suburbs, but Portland suburbs, and be like right next to someone's house in 20 minutes. And
while you're passing schools and libraries, it's a small city.
Yeah. And it's you know, just getting from one side of the bridge to another, getting from Revolution Hall to being at the Justice Center or in Pioneer Courthouse Square or whatever else. It's like, word, that took us an hour. Like, and that was 2,000 people.
It was wild how easy it became for that movement to shut bridges down and freeways down. Like, there was a couple times I was with them cats, really documenting, like, okay, how is this going to pop off? Like, how are they going to stop traffic and take over a bridge during these hours of the day?
Yeah.
It helped that
At 5 o'clock.
It helped that it was COVID.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, because people already were like, not everybody was transitioning back to work, so the streets weren't as flooded as they normally are. Yo, it was low key. It was a little too easy.
It was surprising to me. I'm trying to look for one of your videos from it right now on your IG, because I saw some of them earlier, and I'm just trying to pull the one that I saw earlier up.
You know, that footage has been used in multiple docs.
Oh, bro.
Netflix, NFL films, Hulu spots. Oh, you just got the whole.
Oh, bro, we litty. You got
the whole idea.
We got the whole idea. I'm trying to find the.
What do you see? What do you see when you look at this page? Is me or this Heart and Hustle?
This is you. So
when you just scroll without reading anything, you just look at the imagery. What is this? What do these images tell you about me, or who you would think that I am based on what you see here on social?
All right. Storyteller first, and I would say secondly, within just like looking through it, like whatever you do, you're legit in. Like, because of the people that are surrounding you, the quality of it, because I get in a fight with my girl about this constantly. She likes pictures to look shitty and to look like, hey,
Real
your
life.
grandma took this on the beach in 1977. It's cute because your grandma took it and da-da-da-da-da,
Right.
but it's like, yo, it's blurry, it's out of focus, you know, the coloring is desaturated and da-da-da-da-da. I want to fix that and make it look perfect. My girl doesn't. Yours are on that level of, it's like, even if it's candid, crispy. And so, like,
That's a dope compliment, bro. I appreciate that. I've always wondered that, because I don't have these discussions. Like, I've never asked anybody, yo, when you look at my page, what do you see? So I appreciate the opportunity to ask you that just off the cuff, and then for you to feel like you've given me an honest answer. Because for me, it's like every time I get ready to think about posts, I'm like, damn, I'm spending too much time on this. Like, there's so many new ideas that I need to manifest.
yeah.
Rather than thinking about a post. But every time I post something, I always get at least 1 or 2 DMs that feel like that post touched somebody.
And this is also what I'm gonna say.
Hey, real quick, check your text messages. Send you the file
The file.
or the post that I think you're looking for.
Oh, okay, cool. Hold on. That is perfect. That's why we have Jesus on the show. He's really an octopus back there, multi-armed, somehow able to do all the things. And I'm like, I don't know how you're able to do it all, bro, but I appreciate it.
Hey, octopus, bro. If you could have one power,
Dude,
feel me?
if
Give me 6 other arms
if
or legs.
If I could have one power, let me slow down time.
You know the problem. Slow down time.
Slow down time, because I feel like the older we get, the faster time moves. Like when you were a kid, you remember that first year of school felt like forever. Summer felt like it was forever. And the older you get, the more and more time passes faster. Like you would think, best way to put it, you're like, hey, we got a vacation coming up in 3 months. You're like, 3 months? 3 months? That's so far from now.
When
Why
you're
can't
shorty,
we do it
that's
soon?
what you say.
But now I'm like, 3 months? You sure? Can we push it back a little bit?
Right.
I still got X, Y, and Z work to do.
And then it's even, for me, once you get past 3 months, it's like, ooh, I don't like making plans that far in advance. Nah, bro. Look, every day,
Dude.
our company shifts to a completely different client, story, brand, production. It's like there is no forecast for where we are now and where we're going to be at the end of the year. Like we have our seasonal stuff that's fairly consistent. But bro, we could be in Africa filming the next Wakanda.
I mean,
Like
you are from
it's
Oakland.
wild like that, bro. It's wild like that. Like we're over here. We're in spring training with the Mariners right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tomorrow we're in Baltimore, not Boston. Right?
He ain't gonna ever let me get that.
Hey, you know why, bro? Because I have been spending a lot of time in Northeast, and especially Baltimore, Philly, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a lot of the sense of what I get from Oakland, certain parts of LA with those folks out there. Like, they keep it. They don't worry about what anybody else is doing. They do it how they do it. They walk how they walk. They talk how they talk. They rap how they rap. They dress how they dress. And they know that they move in purpose. They move in confidence. Like, if somebody's going to come step out here and confront me on something I believe in, I'm ready to clap back. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's when you think about Baltimore, you think about time and where we spend our moments. Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of those cities where it rubbed off on you, because if you don't have something that you're willing to fight for, you're not living. Right? That's where your heartbeat should come from. Your heartbeat should be filled with emotion and passion towards something that's worthy of raising your heartbeat. Ooh, and it can't be the bullshit. It can't. Some people get their blood pressure high off some dumb shit. Like, damn, bro, you letting that raise your blood pressure? Yeah. Rather than this art over here that you're capable of producing?
Dude, so I'm a big person on like quotes and metaphors. First off, two things I'm gonna get you on real quick. One, didn't we just talk outside about like, hey, bro, we got to answer the question. We went into all this stuff, and you've tapped on Heart and Hustle, but haven't been like, yo, like right. I like got the studio, got like not even studio, agency. Like, you ain't hit on none of that. And then secondly, I love this more so than ever.
All you know is where my folks is from,
dude. You taking the coaster for the cup, and you just sitting up here playing with it on the side of a wall, put it under the cup. I'm like, man, this is real nice leather.
Feel
this
me?
This is real good. I ain't gonna mess it up by putting this cup on it.
Hey, that's a habit I have. If you see me, like if I'm one of them cats, if I'm on the phone in a conversation that I really need to pay attention to, like be fully engaged in, I'm on the move.
Oh, I'm a walker. Yeah.
I'm on the move. I'm mobbing. The dog just following me all around the house. Like, something's about to pop off.
Dude, that's why I want to get a dog. I want to get a dog so I can be like, oh, word, I got to get on the phone real quick. All right, let me get the leash. Let me get the thing. I got to walk anyways. Let me just take care of 2 in 1.
Put the AirPods in, bro.
Man, why do people, all right, women taught me this, and I don't understand why it doesn't work for at least me. I don't know if this is black men in general. I go somewhere, go to a store or anything. I go and put headphones in. Go about my business to be like, and my hair's up. You can clearly see it's 2 white things sticking out of my ears. And people still trying to talk to me or trying to like get in a conversation or figure out stuff. And I'm just like, do you
use nonverbal cues to communicate with them? Like, yo, you don't see
you see the thing? And they keep going and they'll be like, ski. And I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, I'm on the phone. They're like, oh, I'll wait. I'm like,
now's not a good time.
And the funny thing is, my girl taught me this because she was like, yo, she got mad when Apple started making Bluetooth headphones. She's like, this is bad for women. And I was like, why is it bad for women? She's like, because even if you didn't have anything on, girls could be on the train, on the bus, out walking, doing X, Y, and Z, and they could ignore catcalling or a guy trying to approach or whatever else and deal with it. But now that it's hidden, especially if you have long hair, there isn't that stopping. You have to like pull it out of your ear and have that.
But you got to get better blinders. It's not just what's in here. It's also like eye contact and what you allow to grab your attention. Because soon as your eyes go to them, they feel like, oh, okay, I got your attention. So my strategy when I'm head down.
Dude, well, I don't know, man. I got white people in Portland. All right, Jesus, speak on this. I'll be in a situation where I'll just be like dead having a conversation, doing my thing. It's like obvious, and people will walk in the middle, stop the whole entire thing, and say something to me, and they won't know me at all. And I'm like, yo, ain't I the black dude that you supposed to be holding your personal? I got dreadlocks. I'm dark as fuck.
Yeah, that's Portland, though.
But they still come through. Am I lying on this, Jesus?
He has a weird, obscene amount of luck when it comes to things like that.
I lead a weird life in the sense of like, it always happens to me. Whatever the situation is, good or bad, always happens to me. We joke about, all right, you know the show Everybody Hates Chris?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, everybody hates Ronan. What? Everybody hates Ronan. And I'm constantly like, yo, what is going to happen today that's going to be nuts? Like, I just got a brand new truck. I've already been hit like a million times. Brand new truck, didn't even have it for a week, and a lady sits up here with a metal box and smashes it against the side of my truck.
He almost runs into me because he was swerving out of the way.
This lady walking
and you
across
were in a
the
different
street.
Car?
I was in a different car.
Y'all just playing bumper cars.
Dude,
What's going on, bro?
I don't know. I don't even want to get into it like that. I'll leave it right there.
You look good for being in a million car crashes, though.
Yo, bro.
You upright, like, no, my neck and my back.
Oh, my neck and my back screwed up.
Oh, word?
Oh yeah, bro. We'll get into that later. We'll talk about that another time.
All right, so question answer. Let's finish the.
All right, yeah. So first off, so who's Rashad Floyd?
Damn, all the way from ground zero.
Dude,
back to chapter 1.
Tell people one, what college did you go to? Did you go to college?
I went to Portland State.
You went to Portland State?
That's why I'm in Portland. So I went to.
Who confused you that was a good idea?
Bro, listen. Growing up where I grew up,
aren't you supposed to be in an HBCU?
Earning.
Weren't you in a different world?
Times have changed. I wish the culture was as supportive of the HBCUs then as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
It was all Pac-10.
Oh yeah.
At that time, it was Pac-10. So
you love sports.
So it's where I could, since I was young, baby. It's always been a chance for me to prove myself.
Okay.
It was always a vehicle for me to prove myself. And I learned at an early age, whether it was soccer, I think the very first thing you could do, like you could be 1 year old, play soccer, like just rolling around with the ball out there. Mm-hmm. Then it was t-ball. Then it was basketball. Then it was track. Then it was football. And so every sport I played everything, all 5 sports year round. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, like all the way through, always in something, every sport. Now I realize the commitment my folks made.
I was just about to say
But if I would have been at the house, I would have been
in trouble,
stirring up trouble.
Yeah.
So they was like, as hard as it is, with so much time committed to getting him to all these places, it's worth,
because it might save his life.
It's gonna save his life. And it's also, bro, it's also like they're seeing me thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're seeing what it gives me as in my characteristics, like what it's building in me.
Yeah.
So was an athlete all my life. Like articles written about me 13 years old. Long jump, track, sports, just like everything. It was like, yo, there was something in me where I was just like, I had an older brother who was my right hand that was like, you're going to be the best. Mm-hmm. And he started putting that in my head from jump. You're going to be the best. You're going to be the best. You're going to be the best. So that's all I ever thought from literally the first sport I played till I retired at 30 years old. And then now in the things that I do as well.
Can we touch on real quick the fact that, and I'm going to say this very, very purposely, the white people do not understand this. Black people in sports isn't just because we are physically, and if y'all bring up the extra tendon in the leg, I swear to God, it's not only that we're physically built as warriors, because that's where our lineage comes from. Like, it's not just that. It's the fact that the circumstances of the situations that we were brought in to be in this country, and we were finally given our freedom, finally let loose. We were let loose in some of the hardest, worst areas in the world. So it's a thing that if you're bringing up children and and it doesn't have to be you do anything wrong. You could be the perfect child, have the perfect life. But you going outside your door. So many times you hear about like drunk driving accidents with little babies minding their own business, just playing. kids playing in the streets and the cops coming up here and messing with them. And it's like, what were you doing? Where are you going? Like Trayvon Martin, all these kids just walking home, doing their own thing, getting into something. None of their business. The reason why we are so attracted to sports is because our parents were trying to protect our lives from those situations. Hey, as soon as you get out of school, you're going to go directly to that field right out in the back. You're going to spend the next X amount of hours because your parents probably had to work 2 jobs, working that 9 to 5, then picking up that extra shift when they're done just to make sure food was on the table. So when they think about us and they think about us with sports, also remember it was a way of survival, and it wasn't a way of survival being like, in 20 years from now, I'm going to get a check for running this ball. Hey, I'm going to be able to make it to the next day because I don't have to go home. It's
what's helped raise so many of us.
Why are we competitive?
So many different single parent households. It was the community. So when your folks were at work or they were at home and exhausted and they knew you were at the park, they knew you were with the team, they knew that was your community. That's what helped raise you. So then the older kids out there, the coaches, the mentors, all the people that were there at the park with you was your community that was raising you. They saw you get out of pocket, they would put you in check. And so it was where you learned, bro, you would go to the park and there'd be one ball. And if you're going to sit on the sideline and think that someone's going to pass the ball to you, you're never going to play. You're never going to touch the rock. And so that was one of the things that helped me understand if you want it, you got to get it.
Yep.
And that's in all aspects of life, right? That's the beautiful woman that you want to marry. That's the job that you want to have. That's the profession that you want to dive into. Everything that you do, from art to school to philanthropy to anything that you want to set your mind to, you have to have that mentality. And I learned that mentality when I was at the park and there was 30 kids and there was one ball. So slowly but surely, like, all right, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go take my shot. I'm going to go try to get the rock. Yeah. And then whatever happened during that time were all lessons for me to learn who I am.
Yeah.
And if there's something that I want, how I'm able to go get it.
Now, getting back to who Rashad Floyd is. So went to Portland State. Just real quick, how was the experience at Portland State?
It was different. It was Colorado State, Arizona State, Cal, Long Beach Poly, Idaho State, Portland State, Montana. Like those are the scholarship offers. And there was a few other Pac-10 schools for just football. But I wanted to do both.
You tell me you had 10 plus scholarship offers?
I went to De La Salle High School. I never lost a high school football game.
What position did you play?
Half of our team is in the league. I played DB and receiver, corner and receiver. But then I hooped and I played baseball and I ran track. So AI was my favorite player growing up.
Oh God,
Jordan was my dude, but because
you and Ian,
listen, you know why? You know why? Because I saw myself in AI.
Okay,
right? Like he had the heart, he had the hustle, he was undersized, and he was just a dog. Like he was like, I'm gonna go out there and make something happen by any means necessary. And he was smooth and he was skilled and he was himself. And so he bent the rules in the NBA. The NBA is what it is right now because of those trendsetters. Mm-hmm. AI was the first one to be like, I'm going to braid my hair, I'm going to get my tattoos, and I'm going to be the highest dude. I'm the highest paid dude on my team, and I'm going to run a franchise all the way to the playoffs, and I'm going to compete against the Lakers every year coming out of the East.
Yeah.
And so I saw myself in him. So he's partly the reason why I went to Portland State, because I wanted to play 2 sports, because I still wanted to be AI. I knew I was going to go pro in something because there was no other option. Like, that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to get a scholarship and go to college and get away from home for the first time and experience things I never thought I would experience. So I went to Portland State because it was on the West Coast.
Okay.
And it was in a city. And they were going to let me play both sports. It's a large town, straight up. But for me as a kid, it's like, oh, I can go to Missoula. I can go to Tempe. Like, there's all these other colleges when they're campuses, and that was all you had. I'm from the Bay. Like, I wanted to be part of the city. So Portland State was like, cool, you can do whatever you want to do. Scholarship, football, basketball, go do your thing.
Okay.
Gave me an opportunity to start as a freshman, so play multiple sports at the D1 level still. So that's what I did. And Portland the first 2 years was rough. It was like, oh. See, it doesn't rain like it used to.
Nah.
Not anymore.
Nah.
You can feel the change, bro. You can feel the climate change. Portland has changed quite a bit, but the weather, the culture, luckily I was on a team of 50 other brothers on both teams. So I had my camaraderie within my community, but as soon as I stepped off campus, Portland got white.
Super white. Super duper white.
So it was a culture shock. But it was cool, man. I was there for a reason.
Is it not weird how Portland, how so many people of the culture, as I like to say, two of my ways of getting around, like, you know, the culture, and it's very what was it, Jesus? It's very authentic. Yeah, that was it. Very authentic. So you don't have to be specific about a race or anything else like that. It's like, oh, it was very authentic. And it's like, oh, yeah. It's like, you understand what I mean.
I remember authentic when authentic became a word for the culture. And then it became so overly used. That was a safe way to say, well, we want you to go ahead and be black. Mm-hmm. Cool, let's go do this LeBron commercial, but I want it to be authentic. So we're going to let LeBron put on the cocoa butter and the lotion and, you know, braid his hair, and we're going to capture what it is. Like, you know what, it's authentic. And then it became overly used. Then it became organic, and it was just like, yo, just let people be who they are. Mm-hmm. You're going to let them be themselves and not edit it in a way that's going to make them look or sound like something that they're not? Oh, you unedited. Okay,
here comes Are you going to sell the name, or are you going to sell them? Are you going to sell their culture? Or are you going to sell their heritage? Like, what?
Facts.
Say
that again, bro.
You going to sell their culture? Or are you going to sell their heritage? It's a thing I feel like so much, and it's so weird that Portland is a hub for agencies and brands within things, but it has such a loss of internally in the city of knowing how to talk and speak the culture and the things that it's about. It's like so many stories.
It's a tightrope.
Are being told about the black experience from these different brands with all these artists and all these sports, and athletes are constantly coming in. Like, Jordan's got a house out here, but it's like at the same time, it's like, you're saying that I can't say the N-word? Is that what you're telling me? And I'm just like, how is these things coexisting in the same space? How is it that you work at an agency or brand, or you're at the school that then has this athlete's son or has these people within it, and you don't recognize, like, you love Damian Lillard, but you don't know how to be around any of the community or anything else around.
But how would they, though?
When you go to the Blackest coffee shop,
we should not be surprised that the white community still doesn't fully understand why they don't fit in when it comes down to allowing us to be exactly who we are, bro. How else would they? Like, that's an experience that no one else can have. You can't walk into a room and walk out and be like, now I understand. Like, it's a feeling, it's an experience. So we got to understand, bro. Majority of the white people are just never going to get it because they cannot. It's impossible for them to have a shared experience because it's just different, no matter how hard they try. That's why collaboration is best.
Yeah.
Collaboration is the best. Like, half of the projects we do, even though we're the face of a lot of those projects, we're collaborating with people that aren't black.
And I'm so happy that you're another example of like the Camp Yoshis. There's finally things in Portland that are telling our narrative, are sharing our experiences, or being literally the things that are creating experiences that aren't being like, hey, we have one black person on a team, we have one person of color on a team that we're going to be like, Rashonda, is it okay if we say it like this?
Bro, we're past the time of being tokens. We are way past that time. Like, that's what our folks did. Right now, in 2023, this day and age, we should not be pulling up to a table where we're the only one
We shouldn't.
That looks how we look, and we're not ambassadors. This ain't the UN where we only get one of us. Like we're now crafting our own tables, and we're inviting ourselves. Like that seat, I know exactly what that seat is made for.
Dude, that was a bar right there. We ain't ambassadors. We sit up here and create the table. Come on.
We're crafting our own tables.
That was a good one. That was a good one, bro.
So look, bro, if we really doing what we're supposed to be doing, it should be exactly what Heart and Hustle Productions is doing right now.
All right.
And Heart and Hustle Productions is just that vehicle. But there's if we're Heart and Hustle, if it's a Tesla, bro, there's a bunch of other Teslas out there. There's a lot of other Heart and Hustle Productions out there.
There ain't just the roaster.
One that this show is created of.
Yeah.
Right? Deadstock is Heart and Hustle. Like we are all on the freeway, 7 lanes deep, mobbing in our own lanes, but moving at the same speed, creating the same amount of impact when you look at how fast we're moving
in the same direction.
And so it's like, who can stop us? No matter what weather comes, our vehicles are built to sustain the storms that life's going to throw at us. Every day it's something.
Yeah.
And these are all black Teslas with black interior, black folks driving. Like, if you could custom build your vehicle to take you to the promised land, it would look like us.
Yeah.
And some people that are in the vehicle with us don't look like us. And that's why now the collaborations, it's okay for Jay and Dre to collaborate with Jimmy Iovine and all other folks, because now we look like the country. And now when we need each one of us to step up, we have the roster to do so.
It's the switching up of being only white people to them being the chosen people.
Look at the Chicago Bulls. I would say where we are right now, look at Chicago Bulls in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yo.
You needed a Steve Kerr. You look at if we're talking about pulling up to the table, look at the chairs on the bench of the Chicago Bulls roster. We made that bench.
Tony Kukoc.
We are the majority of that bench, but you need a Tony Kukoc and you need a Steve Kerr. The difference is we're becoming a majority in this movement because now we're educated. Now we're confident. Now we know that they need us. If you're going to market any product that's going to go global and penetrate pop culture, black culture has to be the centerpiece of that.
Dude, see, we gonna keep going on tangents, and we ain't ever gonna get to actually getting to the story or getting the stories from back in the day. I will say though, it's one. Thank you for doing a Bulls reference, because that's the only sports I know.
Okay,
like you threw out there like that's. There's so many times with me being like a DJ and like traveling country, I'll be with the Roots and stuff, and you know all of them. Sports heads talking about stuff, and I always have to just bring it right back to the 90s era Bulls. And I'm like, they don't never give Tony Kukoc enough love, man. Rodman was cold, and he came in and he did what Michael told him. But Tony,
speak on what you know.
Dude, it's the only thing I knew. So, all right, how did you get from Portland State to Heart and Hustle? Give us that.
I played football in the Arena Football League with Elway's team in Colorado, played in Canada. I played 9 years of pro ball after college.
Dang.
And from 21 to 30, I finally realized what people were telling me when I was growing up in regards to you got to have a backup plan. And I never wanted to hear it because that made me feel like they didn't believe, because I knew I was going to make it. I knew somehow, some way, shape, or form, I was going to make money playing a sport. Because if I allowed myself to think anything different, I would have lost a day of believing in myself, which could have cost me the opportunities that I thought I was destined for. So
gotta have focus.
So these shades I got on, my blinders. I wasn't rocking this brand of shades back then, but I had my blinders on to go exactly where I wanted to go, and I wasn't messing with nothing that was going to derail me. That was friendships, that was the world, that was life, that was relationships, that was everything else. I gotta go here, and I was super headstrong, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And so 9 years of playing ball, I knew that, okay, this doesn't last forever, because I was destroying my body.
Yeah.
So half of the people growing up were like, you need a backup plan, because they didn't think I was gonna make it, and they were hating. The other half believed in me and was just like, even if you play 9-10 years of pro ball, you're gonna retire, you're gonna be 30. You got more than half of your life still to live, so what are you going to do? So in my 9 years of playing ball after college, I constantly was wondering and dreaming about what I wanted to do when I was done.
So what did you go to school for? I know you're playing, but like what
So
was
I
your
didn't
degree?
even think about my major until my second year,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, I'm going there to play ball. Now, okay, I got to be a student athlete. But I always took pride in everything. Even in high school, I wanted to get good grades. I never wanted to be average in anything.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came down to school, it's like, all right, C is an average. That's weak.
Mm.
I don't want to get C's.
Yeah.
So let me go get this A. Sometimes it may fall into a B, but I got to give my best. So it's interesting to think about your question and what I wanted to study, thinking about what I wanted to be, even though all I wanted to be was a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Cool. So sophomore year, the easy thing to do was communications.
Yeah.
Teachers were cool. You know, they were in support of the program where we were going to miss some classes. Cool. But then there was a business side of it. So I ended up majoring in communications and minoring in business.
So
And I got that cum de laude. How do you say it? Cum de laude. Graduate with honors. That extra rope,
Put
you know
a
that
hand
go.
over the
You know that
head.
extra rope?
Mm.
The extra rope
Suda
around for honors?
Suda cum laude.
Machiavelli.
Something like that. Oh, wow.
But I graduated with it, and it was 3.5 GPA or higher.
Mm.
So then it was like, cool, let me be an All-American over here in sports. Cool,
Get
let
the
me
honor
let
roll.
me get the honors,
Yeah.
right? Student athlete, like honor roll. Come on, man, like let's go big. Like let's go get it. And if you fall, you know, then you stood there in that moment knowing you gave your best effort.
So real quick, because the game has changed, as they would say. How do you feel about the change of the college rules of now possibly paying athletes after, you know, so
what you think
long
I'm gonna
of
say,
being
bro?
like,
What you think I'm gonna say?
well, I'm just saying, because it's the thing. It's like it's they always use it as, A, we're paying for your tuition, you're getting this education, you can fall back on it, X, Y, and Z, and now for them to be like, all right, we'll partially pay you in LA only in certain circumstances, because I don't.
Let me monetize off my own image. Like, you already own so much of us.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me the program's making these billions of dollars through TV deals, and when people turn on that station to give that network that many views so they can go and sell the advertising in the commercials for that TV spot, it's this ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
And that ecosystem revolves around us, the players, because when you turn the TV on, that's who you pay to watch.
Oh, we can go.
So let me get a piece. Like let me get a piece of the cake. If I'm the one giving you the recipe and the product that people want to come taste, like, we're the athletes, we're the ones people are watching. So you're telling me I can't monetize off my own image outside of, like, off the court? Outside the lines of sport. So now with NIL rule, absolutely, man, these kids, these young adults should be getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just give them some profit share. Like, cool, we're making this much money. Let me put 15%, 20% of these billions of dollars back to the student athletes, and it's profit sharing because it's a business, bro.
Let me throw it one level deeper on that. I feel like, because it's just like in movies and everything else. You make your money off a Marvel movie, that's great. But the toys, the merch is where the real money comes in. And I look at all of these, like, even though they don't sell some of the jerseys with the names on the back, they do it in selective ways to make sure they don't have to pay these athletes. I think about, I'm like, no matter what school you're in, even if it's more of a collegiate school in the thoughts of like what you're, I told you it gets warm in here.
I got this whole.
I mean, it was a fit, bro. It was a look. It was dynamic.
I walk in a snowstorm in this.
It was a thing that people didn't understand, and people, I don't think, realize that you can have a school and it be like, oh, it's all about their science program. It's all about X, Y, and Z. It's like they still have a sports team. They still have a colorway. They still have a logo. They still have a mascot that then reps the brand of the school. And they have to have a team with athletes that are going to do X, Y, and Z to market that brand for that school. And it's, to me, to this day, I'm like, those are the toys to the movie industry to what it is within these colleges. So it just blows my mind that I'm like, yo, you guys are just mad about this missed out money and schools doing X, Y, and Z. All the students have that hoodie. All the students wear that colorway. All the students have the socks and everything else. And then the parents that come years later, people wearing that stuff that don't even live in that state. Like, oh, my baby goes to that school. I need a hoodie. I need the jacket. I need the blanket. And I'm like,
don't be selfish.
And I'm like, y'all.
NCAA for so long was just selfish.
Can someone hit me with that coffee pot real quick? Let me get a little warmth
drip.
in here. Little drip.
I'll take a splash too.
Yeah.
So, bro, it's when you think about the name, image, likeness, the new NIL, and the culture that it's reestablishing, you got to think about where we are in this generation and within society and the culture and pop culture and the influence and social media. There's enough for everybody. So they took advantage of the athletes for so long, and now the TV deals are so outrageous. But then it's a wild, wild west because you got the portal where kids can now used to be committed to a university, and it was hard to transfer. And if you transfer, you had to sit out a year. Like they put all the rules towards that being a terrible decision, and a decision that you had to really think hard and long about in regards to if I'm going to transfer school. So now that you can just transfer and not have to sit out a year. And then there's NIL where I could get paid. They can pay me. Boosters can now pay me. If I'm an 18-year-old stud over here at Grant High School or Jeff or Central Catholic, okay, cool. Not only are we going to offer you a scholarship, we're also going to give you a sign-in bonus, and that's legal. And then we're also going to sign a trading card deal for you. So there's all these ways that the industry is finding loopholes because the guards are now down and NIL is still alive, but it hasn't been fully established and structured. So now I can go get paid $1-2 mil. Michigan's going to give me $1 or $2 mil. Ohio State and Florida is going to give me $5 mil. Oregon's going to give me 10. And I'm 18 years old.
And I'm about to royalties.
And I'm about to make way more than NFL minimum or the NBA minimum before I even play a snap in college.
Especially when you're putting your body on the line and you don't know if you're even going to sit up here and make it to the big show.
Yeah, that's like where it is now is going to change quickly because it's outrageous. These young kids are getting offered crazy money before they even. The kids is like, cool, I'm not leaving. I'm not going to step foot on campus until the check comes.
Remember the movie back in the day with Shaq? I think it was called Blue Chip.
Yep.
And that was a
Nick
whole
Nolte.
whole entire thing they were talking about. All right. Once again, so how did you get from there?
So I was thinking about my post career the whole time I was playing ball.
Yeah.
I was thinking about what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Communications major, was having a lot of success as an athlete. And so I would do these post-game interviews. Then they started allowing me to come be like a featured guest on some segments. Because anytime you find a brother and it's an athlete and he can tell the audience something that the audience doesn't know, because the audience isn't in the locker room. They're not at practice every day. They haven't torn cartilage and had concussions. Like, they don't know what it's like. So anytime you can get an athlete that is articulate and can express themselves and be like, oh, wow, I never thought about that moment. Then during that time, it was like, cool, let's get them on camera. This is great. Because there's a lot of pencil pushers. There's a ton of dudes out there with a suit and tie on that don't look like us, that don't have the experience we have, that's going to judge, that get paid to judge and measure and analyze athletes all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right? The Skip Baylesses of the world. And majority of them, the Jim Romes, like that's how they built their enterprises. They got paid a lot of money. So anytime you get an athlete that can do what they do but give more insight, it was cool. So I started understanding like, oh, okay, dope, behind the camera, in front of the camera, transitioning from the field to the studio, and it's still all around sport. And I get to talk about what I love. It was cool. So the dude that was at the Denver Post, the senior editor at the Denver Post, got a talent acquisition job for the NFL.
Okay.
And he was running NFL Network, and his job was to bring on talent for their shows. And so he hit me. He remembered doing some interviews with me after games as a journalist. And I'm in D.C. with wifey on vacation. And I remember getting a phone call from him. He's down in Culver City in L.A., and he's got the NFL Network show. They had a college football show at the time. They had a bunch of different NFL shows. And so he was like, yo, how much do you know about college football? We're about to launch a new college football show on the NFL Network, national TV. I'm probably like 27, 26, 6 years after college, still playing ball, making good money at the time, benefits, 401k, retirement, health insurance, 6 figures, like, ball at that time, not being in the NFL, it was, things were going well.
Yeah.
Nike athlete, like the only arena football player, Canadian football player to be sponsored by Nike. Nike doesn't do that. So I was doing things that weren't normal already. Like how did you get it? How did you become a Nike athlete? Now you're on the Nike campus training with all the other Nike athletes. They're going to the league. You're going here, but you guys are able to make the same noise and get the same benefits. And so full circle, check it out. I feel the opportunity coming. How much do you know about college football? I know enough. I played it. I watch it. I know the conferences. And whatever I don't know, I'm sure in 24 hours I could be educated on it.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, you interested in coming down and doing an interview? Culver City on the NFL Network to be a football analyst on our new college football show? All right, cool. Let's go. There's something, I don't know what it is about me, but there's an area of my heart and mind and spirit where I don't know what it is, but it stops me from being fearful.
Yeah.
Like I won't allow myself to be afraid of change or an opportunity, even though I may have no experience at it, or it may be something that's like, it's going to be a shot in the dark, but I've always lunged towards those opportunities without any fear. And so here I am going to the NFL Network, no idea what's going on. First time black car service picked up at LAX, like everything first class. I walk into a room, I get greeted. There's a receptionist. There's people waiting for me at the door. I walk in, they put me in a little conference room. And in that conference room is Deion Sanders, Marshall Faulk, Mike Mayock, Butch Davis, Paul Burmeister, all like legendary people on the field, in the broadcast booth. Like from broadcast to talent, it was like, damn, Rashad Floyd is coming in here, getting introduced as, yo, here's one of our, possible analysts for the new show we got coming up. He's here to do an interview. All right, I watched Marshall Faulk growing up. Deion played for my Niners. It's like, all right, you might as well walk in a room with Michael Jordan and Shaq and Kobe.
I'm really appreciating.
Could you imagine?
Niners fan.
Yeah, bro. Gang, baby.
I mean, there's so much hate for us. It's so hard.
Once you deal with hate your whole life, bro, it just becomes part of who you are. It's just, you just put lotion over it.
So
you just get thick skin. It tries to make you ashy. You just moisturize and it's good. So I walk in the room, and for an hour and a half, it was just a conversation about football at all levels.
Yeah.
I just jumped. They were already having a conversation. They were like, Rashad, jump in. So here I am with Hall of Famers, like huge iconic figures, and I'm just having a conversation. And that moment taught me, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you can relate and you can speak on what you believe in, then you can belong in rooms and at tables and with people that you once were admired by or influenced by or inspired by. You can, like if Malcolm X walked in a room, he just came back from, Malcolm X just came back from
Mecca
and sat right here next to us. I would sit here and rap with him just like I'm rapping with you.
Ooh.
That moment taught me that. So then an hour later, bro, they're like, yo, we got a segment on the show that is live. You want to jump in?
And did you?
So after an hour and a half of a conversation, just rapping, talking football, they were like, yo, you want to come in the studio?
Yeah.
Walked in a legit studio, bro. Giant, major network with the cameras right in front of your face, lights turned on, and there's no one like it's the world. You have to see the world in that lens right there. And when that light turns red, that means the camera angle is on your solo, and you got to speak your piece. And so they threw me on set. They was like, here's the topics. It's going to be UCLA versus USC. What are your predictions? What's the key matchups? What should people look for? And so I had like 10 minutes to kind of think about what I wanted to say, threw me on set. And, bro, the rest is history. They offered me a 2-year deal to be an analyst down there with them dudes. That got me in front of the camera, understanding production at the time. Since I was a Nike athlete, Nike was launching their speed, power, agility, reaction, quickness gear called Spark. They needed athletes to train it. Then they had to film it. Then they needed to make a DVD. So when young kids would order the speed ladder or the parachute or any of the resistance bands, it came with a DVD to teach them how to do it. This is all the very beginning of.
I love that you said DVD because that you just time stamped it real clear.
Because it's the very beginning.
Ain't an app
of sports equipment and training and do it yourself at home, and you can be as fast as Randy Moss, and you can play as skilled as Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Here's the DVD how to do it with an athlete that's showing you all the drill. So anyway, Nike. Then it ended up being technical directing Nike shoots for their athletes because I was an athlete that knew how to.
You were technical directing shoots while being an athlete.
While still being an athlete. This is all while I'm still playing, and I'm working on what I'm going to do when I'm done playing.
All right, so this is before you were the analyst.
So this is all simultaneous. I'm still playing ball. I'm still playing for the Colorado Crush in Denver every year with John Elway's team.
Bro,
and then I'm.
Have you shot a documentary just on him? I'm just saying.
Look, it's just
proof positive of why we need to keep doing this show.
Listen,
proof positive.
Everybody, KD said this, and it has stuck with me since that day. He said you can learn a lot from listening to somebody else's story. We tell everybody else's story. Like I don't tell my story. I don't tell my team story. Like our job is to go out there and tell other people's stories. So it's always I'm sitting with Jamal Crawford at Dave & Buster's in LA like 3 weeks ago, and our kids are playing games because we're both dad coaches, right?
I was just about to ask that too.
We're both dad coaches, right? So he flew straight from TNT in Atlanta in the studio. I'm flying straight from Portland. We're both in LA coaching our kids basketball. We take them to David & Buster's after. We're sitting down, chopping it up. And the dynamic of being in front of the camera, him understanding what it takes now and the sacrifice being made to have this post-career and have the responsibility and the weight on your shoulders to have influence in front of a huge crowd on camera, you learn a lot from somebody else's story. So when I was telling him, I met him a long time ago, he was like, bro, heart and hustle came from the moments that we were together, because I was working for Fox Sports at the time when I met Jamal. So he had no idea what I had majored in and that I didn't even go to film school. And I never went to, I didn't learn, I wasn't taught storytelling. I wasn't taught how to direct and produce and write and create. I didn't go to school for that.
Yeah.
None of it. It just came off of all of my experiences directing Nike shoots as an athlete, because that all happened because Marshawn Lynch, this is how it happened, bro. They're about to shoot. Let me keep it funky. Look, Nike's about to shoot Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
And there's only the art director on Nike's team that might be able to relate to Marshawn Lynch. Right? So there's only one black dude really on the team that's like, all right, we're about to shoot Marshawn Lynch. Here's the design. Here's the new product. Marshawn is coming. And sports marketing's job is to be like, okay, I'm going to work with the brand team. Because if you want Marshawn Lynch, you don't just, the Nike design team and the brand team doesn't just call Marshawn Lynch. Sports marketing owns that relationship.
Okay.
So they got to go through sports marketing to holler at Marshawn, because sports marketing is black.
Okay.
It's brothers and sisters at sports marketing, because who's going to foster the relationship with Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be the dude over there sitting in that cubicle. You know how Marshawn gonna look at him.
Well,
Dude,
hey, brother, just so you know, man, welcome to the table.
Could you imagine a breakdown in communication? You feel me? So anyway, so sports marketing is the brothers and sisters, right? They played ball. They come from the same areas that they come from. It's someone that can relate to the athlete, but they're super sharp and educated, and they know how to work within a corporation. So Marshawn Lynch is coming. All right, we need somebody that, number one, can communicate with him, because this photographer from Europe is going to try to talk to Marshawn and say, Marshawn, we need you to hold the football like this. And Marshawn's going to be like,
bro, I know how to hold a football.
It's a whole too short bar that's going to come out. It's probably more explicit. It's probably more explicit than I'm willing to say right now publicly.
Yeah.
But Marshawn's going to be like, beep, 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 beep. Fuck out of here.
Dude.
So then
yes.
Rashad, yo, can you come and technical direct? Technical direct? What is technical directing? Well, we got to set up the drills and the positions, because you know the sport. You're an athlete. Okay, cool. You going to pay me for that? Yep. Okay, and then we also need you to communicate with Marshawn and be the bridge between the photographer and the athlete, because they don't speak the same language.
Yep.
Because the photographer has no idea what it's like to play this sport at this level with like 100% authenticity.
Yep.
And then the athlete they don't come from a production world or a creative world for them to be able to understand angles and dynamics and frame rates and exposure and everything else that comes down to making them look good on this billboard.
Yeah.
So then I became the conduit. And from that, I started understanding the production world and how it all works. And I remember my name just being one name on the call sheet, one name on the crew list, just one little name. I was just a little peanut. I was just a little seed on that team. And I remember watching and listening to the producers. Rarely do I share the story. I remember watching and listening and taking all that in and seeing who was on stage in front of the camera, which was a minority, and who was behind the camera, and all the different roles and how much money was being spent on this production. And I realized it wasn't really us telling our stories. It was them telling our stories. And there's a few of us that can make the story connect. And those few, from the hair and makeup person that knew how to deal with our skin tone, and the barber that knew how to deal with our hair texture, those specific roles. And then the technical director that was there to make sure the athlete had clear communication and felt comfortable about the playlist that they were listening to and the music that was being played and the vibe that we're creating, because the camera does not lie. If Marshawn's not rocking with you as a photographer, as a creative, the images aren't going to be dope. Yep. So you got to, Rashad, come create the vibe. Come create the vibe, but don't do too much. Come create the vibe, but don't do too much. So then it was like, okay, you're creating the vibe, but you're stepping on director's toes. But you're creating the vibe, but you're trying to frame up the shot. So then it was like, all right, I see that there needs to be a collaboration, but I also see that the people being hired, I wanted to be in that position. I wanted to be able to be in charge of the opportunities that were given, because you're spending thousands of dollars in catering. You're spending thousands of dollars in security and grip and gaff and location fees. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for this one day is being spent. And I wanted to be the person that could be in charge of who was getting that bread. And I wanted it to be more of us. And so I wanted to be I created Heart and Hustle Productions, bro, because I wanted to be in charge of who the catering budget was going to, bro.
Yeah, I do. You said, as soon as you said catering.
Who the brother that was going to get hired for security?
I just imagine Marshawn Lynch going up being like, yo, is this Kraft macaroni and cheese? This Kraft?
Is that Big Mama's potato salad? Is that yellow potato salad? Or is it New Seasons potato salad?
Like, is there raisins in my potato salad? Nah, yo, I'm out.
Could you imagine that weight, bro? Could you imagine? Listen, it took 10 years.
Yeah.
I got hired as an individual. In the first 6 years of Heart and Hustle, I was just hired as an individual. And I had my brother-in-law who was crafty in editing and sound design, engineering, and was a hip-hop artist himself and was from Portland and kind of knew how to work with cameras and was doing music videos and all that. And I was like, bro, I think I want to start doing this shit that I'm doing on my own, but I don't know I don't know the post-production side of it. I just know what looks dope.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rock. And my older brother, it was my older brother that always was like, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Go do that thing. Go do that thing. I got you. Have no fear. Go do it. If you fall, I'm here to pick you up. So he created this fearless mentality and personality. I was like, if I want it, I'm going to go get it because I know nobody's going to hand it to me. And then I'm introduced into this world where I see production, I see the money, I see marketing, I see pop culture, I see how black culture is 100% the centerpiece of how these brands are marketing. And then Heart and Hustle started to develop. And look, finally, after doing all these Nike recap videos, how many people went to Sneaker Ball stand up? Everybody went to Sneaker Ball. We used to get hired to go film a recap video for Sneaker Ball. Here's a couple grand. And a couple grand was given by the Black Employee Network at Nike. Mm-hmm. Right?
Is
like Jabari Hearn and Julian Duncan and, JJG and all the homies. Like they were like, yo, up and coming, Rashad, heard about him, cool. They starting to pick up cameras. I believe in them, cool, go shoot a recap video. Who cares if you mess up, right? It's only a couple grand. It's for the Black Employee Network, cool, go shoot it. Started shooting, and Dom Kinsu said, I'm going to Africa. You're the only dude I trust. Come to Africa with me, document it. Cool, Dame Lillard, yo, I've never let nobody in the studio with me really like this, capturing me and my family doing what we do.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel comfortable from the town. Like, yep, I know you're going to protect my image and my brand and the content in a way. So then you become trusted to be in environments that not everybody has access to, and you damn sure can't bring cameras in.
Yeah.
But if Heart and Hustle comes in there, I know LeBron's like, I know you got me. Mm-hmm. None of this shit's going to hit public. But I get a chance to be myself. Nothing's going to leak because I get a chance to be myself. And then we're only going to pull out the stuff that we really want people to know about us. And it's always going to push the envelope and be on the edge just enough for them to get to know who we really are. Mm-hmm. Cool. First time I'm going to wear a do-rag. LeBron, first time I wear a do-rag on camera. All right, cool. I know it's a camera I can trust. All of that, bro, was created, and it took time after time after time, opportunity after opportunity, door being closed after door being closed, hustling like crazy while trying to build a family. Like from scratch. There was never a project that was handed to us. It was always because I met with someone that hustled, that grinded, that someone felt the belief and the confidence in and be like, all right, here's an opportunity. Okay, here's 1,000, here's 5,000, here's 10, here's 50, here's 100, here's 500. And then it went from small to medium to, okay, we're at a level now where we can really start to create change. So let me hire these folks. Let's start controlling the narrative. Let's be the only production team that walks on set. It's like, oh, the talent is here?
Champs are here.
No, we're not the talent. We're behind the camera. We're actually the creatives. And then the talent's over there. It's like, oh, I'm seeing something I haven't seen before. Let me sit back. I mean, you got like your whole team looks different than I've seen in the industry. The whole team, bro. From the sound tech to the grip and the gaff, mm-hmm. to the photographers, to the cinematographers, to the producers, to the project managers, to the PAs, to the catering, to the security, to the COVID officers, all the way up and down. It's like, dude, y'all figured it out.
Don't you love how, and first, don't you love how it's different and hard for people to realize, like, see, there's a difference between doing a diversity hire and for you, as in them, having a history of only hiring white people. And then y'all get weird when we sit up here and not only is it just like, well, we're only a black agency. No. We just have people that look like our culture.
Thank you.
And they're like, but that means that there isn't no, we have to be guardians, not gatekeepers of our culture, and put the people that need to be in these positions. There's a million other opportunities for these other people to get into these agencies through their families, through knowing the right people and whatever else. And especially because, Becky is definitely getting it because guess what? Her uncle owns the whole entire thing. But brother Chris been doing this forever. And this is his dream to do this. And he doesn't want to be just a diversity hire a part of something that then has to be like, yo, I'm the monolith of the black narrative for a whole entire company.
Hey, you know how hard that is, though? You know how hard that is to be the one in that position, understanding you're vulnerable, because if you fail, if Heart and Hustle fails, then there's a domino effect of the progress and those that are coming after us. We set our community back if we fail.
Yeah.
Because we're just now getting these opportunities. And soon as we fail, that opportunity may not come again for a long. It took us 10 years. 10 years.
People have no idea how what it takes. And do you consider yourself an agency?
I'm talking about 10 years of working towards the budgets that all other agencies doing what we're doing gets. Heart and Hustle Productions is asked to do exactly what Wyden and Kennedy does, or for Wyden and Kennedy, for a fraction of the bread.
Yep.
And so, yes, cool. I'm Jackie Robinson. I'm not getting paid the same amount of bread as all the other players, but I am on the field. But I'm on the field, though. I'm saying the sacrifices. If we started saying, nah, I'm not doing that because it's not the same amount of money as the other agency, which we're almost there to be able to do that. We're almost there. But right now we're still working like, okay, it's a sacrifice because there's those that's coming after us. And if we just keep going to every level, keep elevating. By the time we're there, then we're able to put our foot in the ground, and those that come after us can be the recipients of the sacrifices we made. So it's very difficult to be in that position knowing if Heart and Hustle fails, there's a domino effect. So our team is always challenged to have no fear, even though we can't fail. And that's the difficulty. We don't play shit safe. I'm not going to go shoot something and keep it kind of like regular out of fear that we don't want to push the envelope and fail because of this camera angle or this composition or the frame rate or the creative towards it. We don't want to do what was done last year. We don't want to do what was done yesterday. So we are going to go fearlessly and pursue it. And if we fail, we fall on our sword, but we're not going to go into it with fear.
We're not going to fail not being us. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Ryan Coogler when he got Black Panther and them being like, hey, we're going to stylize and make it look this certain way.
Right.
And in the previous movies, and he's like, no. When you give it to me, I'm going to make it look like us. I'm going to make sure that the people that are doing hair, makeup, doing the design for the clothing are going to win awards for making it look this way. I could just make it.
That's being seen on a different platform, bro. When we're seen on stage,
and we were the biggest, and that was the biggest Marvel movie
box
at the time, with the smallest budget.
People don't look.
Look at him smiling, thinking about it. Like he's from Oakland too.
Check me out. Hey, the way that joint started off too, in the town. Listen, how do you feel? What happens to your body, mentally, physically? How do you feel when a kid is asked, who's your favorite Marvel character? Let's say it's a little white kid. Tommy from the Bahamas. Who's your favorite character? And he says Black Panther. Because the word Black Panther has so much more meaning to just being a character in a Marvel film.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man? Miles Morales.
Do they know the dudes that have Black Panther tattoos on their chest? Like what that Black Panther means to this Black Panther? So it's just the beauty of it is just hearing the word and hearing the word be celebrated.
Yeah.
There's a beauty to me. It's not when I hear a kid say Black Panther is my favorite character, there's so much more that a kid doesn't even need to worry about. But as an adult and someone that understands just that word and that phrase and that image, if you see the image of a Black Panther, what you think coming from where we come from, having the ideas that we have, I just love hearing that more and more and more.
One of the things that like changed my whole entire, that movie changed my whole entire outlook on Black culture and I'll say it this way. I remember when, it still happens, we borrowed so much from other cultures to represent ours. P.S. I forgot to tell you, this show goes by quick. We ain't even get to one like, hey, how was it meeting LeBron? Hey, you met Kobe. Yo, you did. Yo, we could just go down to the work. Just the work. We didn't even touch on the website yet. Being like, this is what you've done. We still on the first question. But we were supposed to start. Yeah,
we're good.
Good. You good on time?
I'm good, bro.
All right, because I was about to say, bro, we technically have 8 minutes.
No, I'm good. If you guys are down to chill, then dope. But I'm good, bro.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you guys want to stay that long, but I'm good. So the show is 2 hours?
Show's 2 hours.
So from the time we started, we got like 30, 40 minutes still.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm with it.
But no, man, so what I was saying was how Black Panther changed it for me was simply how we are looked and identified in our culture, and we would borrow from others like, yo, I know more dudes, black dudes with Asian tattoos on them than I know of any black dude with African tattoos on it. I don't even know the African art that people that would have on them. I don't know. I know more people that have words from white scholars and from different civil rights leaders just from here than I do of like, yo, here's the tribal markings. This is where my people come from. Not that my people come from Sugar Lot, Mississippi. That my Ethiopian ancestors come from here. I know this. And that was
There's a reason for that, though. That's information that we haven't always had access to.
No.
You're talking about our lineage?
Yo, what did I say earlier?
Like our lineage?
Culture, our heritage.
You know how dope it would be to have like tribal markings? Like for the brothers that have tats, if they're exposed to the meaning and the heritage that stands behind that, I'm sure they would. But you're right, bro. We're exposed. So much of our history has been in the shadows. So much of it has been on the back page, if it's even in the book. And so that is an incredible observation. And there's a reason for it. And I think if we had access to more of our lineage, because we're just now finding it. People are just now like, oh my God, guess what I found out? Guess what I find out? Like now, come on, we already knew where our last names came from. Mm-hmm. So there already was I wonder what the name of my ancestors, what our real name really was, because I know my last name. I know how I got my last name.
Dude, they make us hate ourselves and not even realize it. It's like when they show us images of Africa, when they show us images of tribes and everything else. Yo, African booty scratcher? Remember hearing that as a kid? Mm-hmm. Remember the words that they used to showing us only with tiki flies on us and everything else?
So African, bro.
Not showing the tapestries that we made within stuff.
I didn't know Africans had clothes till I finally started like doing research myself, because everything I saw was.
Dude, they even tell us about the Moors.
We literally still had like, come on, bro.
They didn't even tell us about the Moors. Like, hey, yo, who educated the Europeans?
Leaves and brush with a rope, like covering ourselves up. Like, come on, man. We're so much more sophisticated than what we once thought growing up, just based on what we actually had access to. The pictures in the book were wild, bro. And then God's Must Be Crazy came out, and it was Manute Bol and all them tall African cats. Remember, like the 9-foot African cats that was out there hooping?
Dude, what if? You know they had that Marvel series, What If? What if instead of us only having Black History Month, we had Black History Month, and then we had African History Month. And then we were like, here's a whole entire month where we explore, and please tell me you saw the Watchmen TV show. You did. All right.
Regina I don't think
King.
So.
All right. Gotta watch it. Gotta watch it just simply
series?
for this. Yes, it's a series. And Regina King kills it. They have this whole entire museum.
I like Regina.
In their town that is sole purpose is to tell you your ancestry. So they go into it, they take a sample, I think they take a swab, put it in the machine, And then it's like, here's your family story.
Immediately?
COVID
test? Positive,
Boom.
negative. Yep, we got your lineage.
And then it's like, here's your family lineage. Here's your parents. Here's your grandparents. Here's it all the way back. And it tells you the story of you. And they're like, this is a city fund or a state funded thing. Because what
this is on the show.
This is on the show. And it was based upon the Black Wall Street. Because they were basically like, these are the reparations you get for Black Wall Street. We will permanently tell your history. And if you happen to be one of the ancestors of one of these people, we doubly got you. And I won't go into the rest of it.
That story arc is fire. What other actors? Regina and who else?
Oh God, that's the one thing. Don't ask me. I'm the worst with actors' names or anything else like that. But it's blackety black.
Dope.
And it tackles race in a beautiful way. And because the one thing that they share is like, Regina is from in the show. Her family's from Korea. So they do this whole entire twist. I won't give it any more than that.
That's what she finds out.
So it's a thing that's like, no, like military brat.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yo, she was born in South Korea. She was raised in South Korea. She's still black.
Right.
She's still a sister.
Yeah.
And how they go about telling that is dope. Like I said, I don't want to get into it. I want you to watch it. Because there's that show, and then there's the show Lovecraft. With
old buddy.
Yeah. Dude, those are the two like shows that I'm like, tell me a black story without making it be this
that sound like Down by the Water.
Yeah. It's like, yo, we can sit up here and do black sci-fi. We can do the black experience more than it just being only told in this one specific way.
It's cool, bro. It's cool. I see the change. I mean, for Netflix to have, Black Story collection on, on their different genres of films and shows to watch, I feel it. I feel a change in the meaning of balance and opening more books and telling more stories and guards down. And I feel like we've broken through. I feel like our culture has broken through the main gates that lead towards equity, especially educationally, in regards to access that starts to tell the truth of the history. And we have, even though, look, man, there's always that argument, we got so far to go, man, this is still happening. Like, you got to acknowledge progress. You have to acknowledge progress. Yesterday, you made 2 out of 10 free throws. Even though today you only made 3 out of 10, and you're like, damn, that's still only 30%. You made 3. Yesterday, you made 2, so you leveled up. So we got to acknowledge the progress we are making in all capacities of life. And definitely, when you look at, Heart and Hustle Productions and what we've created and where we are now, straight up, bro, what you see is exhausting to create.
Ooh, and it's crispy.
You hear me though? You hear me? Like, when I look at this,
you see all the work behind it.
The work there's so much extra work to build what we're building, because we still don't have all the same. There's, the equity in the materials that we're using and the time that we're given and the budgets that we have, where it takes us, we have to be able to build the house the same speed as the industry requires, but with half of the resources. So it's just exhausting to create. And you have to have a team that's willing to exhaust themselves to create this. And I think the only reward our team gets from making those sacrifices is the work. Is seeing the fruits of the labor. And when we look at the work that we've done, it's worth it.
It's truly amazing that you, because
there's a reason for that, man. Hey, there's so many subliminal messages in the images we capture.
Yeah,
and we let you see it with your own eyes. if you see it, you may acknowledge it one way. Someone else may see it and acknowledge it another way. Some people may not see it. But there's so many, like, we frame our shots so purposefully, bruh. Mm. Like everything that's in the frame. That's the first thing that you learn when you rock with us. Whatever's in the frame has to be a part of the story in some way, shape, or form with purpose. If it's not, get it up out the frame.
Yeah.
It's wasting space.
We only got so many pixels.
That's it.
And it's a thing that I do. You kind of touched on it earlier, and we didn't dive too deep into it. And we still have some stuff to talk about, but I want to point this out. It's always crazy to me that how, and you said it so many different ways, that us being in front of the lens, yo, what made Instagram, Twitter, all these things pop off? Black people. Our culture, whether you're talking about music, you're talking about sports, you're talking about celebrities, you're talking about who's got the hottest verse, whatever it is. Oh, you need comedy? Oh, who are we gonna mimic to look funny or to sit up or to spell out something different? How are we?
You want drama?
Yo, black
comedy, entertainment, all of it.
Content is black. Content has always been black. Remember when they used to paint their faces black and put red lipstick on their lips? They had to pretend to be us to entertain themselves.
While we were entertaining them at the event that they were watching us. Like if you go back and watch how motion pictures were viewed, and the live music and the bartenders and the food and the
dude,
we have been built to make them.
Who's the king of rock and roll?
Make them feel comfortable. Come on, bro.
Who's the king of rock and roll? For them, it's a white dude that took black music. The king of rock and roll.
You talking about James Brown?
No, I'm talking about Elvis Presley.
You talking about? Well,
Elvis Presley, white dude, took music.
No, what's the homie's name? Little Richie.
Yeah.
And James Brown.
Yeah. The true king.
And Elvis was coming in there like, this is how you really get down. I rock with y'all. That's why Elvis was soul. He was like, oh, a white dude could have soul. He was the first example of like the white culture being like, oh, we got soul. Look at the king. But where'd the king get it from? That boy got it going to the Baptist churches.
Yo, hey, and
down by the water.
Yo, take it back even further than that. Country music, westerns. Who was it? It was Ray Charles.
A black version of Yellowstone would be fire. As you talk about westerns. Black Cowboys?
Yo,
a black version
Compton
of Yellowstone?
Cowboys?
Yeah, God.
Compton Cowboys?
They go hard.
Yo,
I'm about to go shoot that.
Hey,
let's go shoot Compton Cowboys.
P.S.
Oh, yeah, bro.
That's also in The Watchmen.
Word?
We the first Cowboys, and they show that.
Ooh.
Not only we the first Cowboys, we the first sheriffs.
It's a new sheriff in town.
And the first superhero.
Hey, guess what I heard?
The first superhero. Yo, bro, you need to watch. I'm
on it.
So now we got to fast forward because there's so much we haven't even touched on.
I'm an OG now, bro. It's been years.
Where was your first Nike shoot that you did that you were like in full control of?
I mean, it's got to be a Black History Month piece.
Don't you? Yo, you know that series is called More Than February just because I'm tired of us only getting hired during Black History Month? Yeah.
But that's the progress I'm saying, though, that we still have to acknowledge. Yes, it's ridiculous, but it's what gives us an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And finally, brands started figuring out, all right, at least on this month, if we're going to tell a story of a black athlete or a black actor, then at least the people telling the story should probably be black. I'm sure there's enough filmmakers and photographers and creatives these days out there, people of color, BIPOC, that we can get to be behind the lens. So the story told in front of the lens is real and true. And the person in front of the lens that we're telling a story on feels safe to express themselves and open up because they feel like they're being heard, right? And so at least that acknowledgement happened to where now, okay, cool. Someone's going to shoot Braun or someone's going to shoot Steph or someone's going to shoot Dame or Serena or Tiger or whoever, Asia Wilson, let's make sure that it's a brother or sister that knows what they're doing. That's dope, that the talent will get along with, and it becomes a vibe. And it's like, yes, look what we did. Now we're bringing authenticity behind the lens. So at least that was figured out because it does open the door. But you know, when you think about from our first project, the first few projects we did, it started shaping who we ended up ultimately becoming. It's like the way we played in the first quarter of this marathon, our first 5-6 miles of the marathon that we're running now, the way we ran and the routes that we took ended up establishing exactly who we maintained as we got our second win, and now we're on mile 15 of the marathon. Like a lot of times when you first start something, a lot of times how you run and how you operate ends up changing quite a bit. But the projects that we did at a very early stage helped establish exactly the type of projects we're still now telling. And I'll tell you what those are. We started telling stories in 30 seconds, and then we told stories in 3 to 5 minutes, 9 to 10 minutes, 24 to 26 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes. We started learning how to tell stories in a very short amount of time to telling stories that allowed you 60 or 90 minutes to develop the story. And the story arc had 2 acts, 3 acts, 4 acts, 5 acts, all these different chapters. And so...
And then the brother won an Emmy.
And then that happened. That happened without even thinking about it. It's like you go through this career, you're happy to be in the league, you just want to go. And one year, like, damn, I got MVP of the league. That's dope.
Dude.
Didn't even really think about it, but it's like, oh, okay, all right, dope. There's an opportunity. We had a quality, we have a chance.
And isn't it amazing what you won an Emmy for? Isn't that crazy? All right. First off, where can I find the videos? Because I was trying to find the videos to put to show on the show while we were talking.
For the Expressions in Black.
Mm-hmm. The thing you won the Emmy for again?
It's still on linear. You can still go to KGW.
Okay.
You can go to YouTube.
And that's what I tried to do.
You can go to IG.
But it's not going to be on Heart and Hustle. It's not on Heart and Hustle's YouTube.
I don't even know. Do we have?
Man, you good, bro.
We don't even have the capacity to update our YouTube stuff. Is probably from a couple years ago. IG probably has some of it, but I think there's an Expressions in Black like .org. It's got its own website. We need to get that. You about to get me motivated to.
Yo, bro, this is the thing. Yo. All right, first off, the fact that you won an Emmy, like you like, I've done all these commercials. I've sat down with LeBron. And P.S. I need one Kobe story out of you. I need just give me one. I know there's probably more than that, but just give me one.
Special dude.
Like, Damian Lillard, all these other, Kevin Durant, like all these other people that you've done, and then you win an Emmy for going back to the town that you're at now, which I hope that is now your town. I know Oakland's always going to be a town, but this
I got love for Portland.
Like, you come in to be in Portland, the whitest city ever, and show the figures and people that matter within the Black community here. You win an Emmy for doing that, which, once again, you're not from here. And this story should have been told how many times over about how many different people in the community. But you, an out-of-towner coming here, tells that story, and then you get an Emmy for it. It shows that those stories not only need to be told, but they need to be told by us because we can do it to a quality that no one else can.
There had to be an opportunity for that to happen. Because listen, as much as each and every one of us wants to spend every ounce of effort we have for purpose and change and community and giving back and lifting one another up, we got to pay the bills. We got to support our own. Like, our house has to be solid. The households that we create, that we build, that we foster, that we raise, our households as Black parents have to be solid. solid. I'm talking about tucking your kids in at night,
Mm-hmm.
making sure the last words that they hear from someone they trust are words of encouragement and support and inspiration and perspective and bold and like we have to build that first. And so the extra time that we do have as creatives, as entrepreneurs, as people that move with purpose, change makers, we got to make sure our home is right first. We got to make sure ourselves are right. And so we talk about there only being 24 hours in a day, and how much of that time is spent on making sure that we're good first. So then the light, the beacon that we become, shines bright enough to encourage others to find that same feeling. It has to be an opportunity. And so Expressions in Black happened because all the other projects weren't available because COVID shut everything down. So all the brands and all the advertising, all the leagues, the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, like everything was shut down. And so we don't stop telling our stories. And so there was a moment of pause where the normal work that we do that puts the food on our table was shut down. So now what stories are we going to tell? So Expressions in Black came from an opportunity for us to sit and reflect and not have the distractions that now focus our lens on our community and the stories that are probably more powerful than the stories that have hundreds of thousands of dollars behind it to support it. Let's go do it with $1 and a dream. And so now we tell these stories and we focus our lenses on the Portland community, and I'm not from here. So then it's like, all right, damn, who are the people that are from here that I rock with, that I trust and that I know? And no, there were certain individuals that were so well connected in the community. They were like, yo, you got to meet this person. You got to meet this person. This person is super dope. And then the floodgates open to amazing Black figures and entrepreneurs and creatives and artists in Portland. I'm like, yo, I didn't even know this side of Portland existed. There's some incredible people of color in Portland that are so far beyond the content that you can find on Portland. Like, it wasn't out there. Like, how are these stories haven't been told yet?
And what's amazing?
Like, what? I'm finding out. Like, I'm learning. Like, hold on. You mean I can't go and find a video or a feature on these individuals already done, knowing the body of the work that they've put in front of us and throughout the community? Like, these are iconic people in Portland.
Dude, what's crazy, and I want people to recognize and hear this. Not one person from your first season of doing this have we had on this show yet. And the amazing thing is, it's like that's how many that's how many amazing people of color and Black people are out here.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
In this city.
You're not saying you're lazy.
No, I'm saying that.
Like, you ain't had none of these folks on the show.
No, I'm saying
you're saying there's that many people that are that dope. They might be in the top 50.
Dude,
but how many episodes have you done?
So we're now close. The ones that are out, like we're probably in the 50, 60. No, I don't know. That's the answer.
So you're saying there's a top 100?
Yeah.
Of really, 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 really dope Black folks. Is it all Black? All the guests are Black?
No, not all the guests are Black. So we do a plethora. Like, we have some episodes that are just me and Ian, but we made it a conscious effort to be like, every show, no matter what. Okay.
Yep. Bathroom.
You gotta go. Hit it.
Good. You can finish that thought.
We want it to be a thing that's like every single episode from this point on that we're going to have a different guest on the show, interviewing them, talking about X, Y, and Z going on. But within that, we wanted to do, especially for this month, we're only going to do Black guests this month. We're Portland's first Black morning show, but we're not going to be limiting ourselves to be like, yo, we're only going to talk about, we're always going to talk about the Black narrative because the Black layers of our experience, but we're not going to single out other people in our community that can share in that experience, and then also help to grow some of those people.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I support that. I think
you
that's
go
important.
do that. I'll drop some of the headlines real quick. You just gonna go outside across the other space. All right. Word. Well, hi. My name is Ronan. I am your host of Your Morning Drip. We are going to quickly talk about the ways that you can help support this damn show. Can't do this show without you, and it's amazing and awesome that so many people come to help us bring this together, but this is not cheap or easy to do. Some of the ways that you can support is becoming a part of the show. We're looking for individuals that want to either intern or become a part of the crew, whether it's helping out with cameras, helping out with social media, different operations of the show. Hey, tap into us. You can go to yourmorningdrip.com and do that very, very easily. Also, you can jump in. There you go. You can tap in with us on yourmorningdrip.com to pick up merch, to, celebrate how much you love the show, love this idea. We also have art prints that you can check out. Jesus, can you I'm gonna go to the site real quick. Let them know. You throw me that picture in picture, Put the site and put me up in the corner. Yeah. All right. So you can go check out the site, yourmorningdrip.com. Very easily click live to watch the episodes live. We have some of the episodes here, but they're all on our YouTube channel as well. You can go to our store, click that all merch, and check out all the dope. If this decides to load up, it has all the prints from the series More Than February that we talked about a couple of times on the show. We have all the Samuel Jacksons. We call that the Samuel Jackson multiverse. And then we also got Nipsey. We got these two different prints of him. One close up, one with him with the wings. But we have all different types of prints that you can check out. Support us through buying the prints or going through and getting our other merch of the hoodies and T-shirts and different stuff like that. All of it helps out the show and support us. We are also on Spotify. Where else are we at, Jesus? We're on Spotify. We're on Apple.
We're on Apple. We're on Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon got a podcast network?
Yeah.
Yo. Youth. I don't know about none of this.
What is the other one?
We're on Spotify. We're on Tidal. We're on all those good things. But yeah, make sure to check it out. Yourmorningdrip.com. You can pick up merch, prints. You can donate. We'll have more events coming soon. We're just trying to get stuff with the show together to make sure it's locked in and tight, real tight. But from there, we'll be doing dope stuff. All right, back to the show. Good sir, Rashad.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
We got go back to expressions in black. Yeah, no. I think it's amazing that we haven't had any of these people that you've had in from the first season. But it's still amazing that there's multiple outlets to now go and find our narrative in Portland. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to think of like how many there was before. Cause there was I can't remember the sister's name. There was a sister that was going through Portland and just taking pictures of black people in Portland. And it was a whole entire blog and website. You know what I'm talking about? Is it Shani? Yeah. And it was just dope. It was just like pictures of black people in Portland, natural environment, doing their thing. I remember I was at Helsner's on Alberta with my mom. I think it was either for my birthday or something like that. And she just came up and she was like, "Hey, yo, I just was wondering if I can just take a picture of y'all." And I was like, sure. And I was like, wait, is this the photo thing for the black people? And she's like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, this is amazing. I never thought that I would get a chance to be one of the like pieces
That's dope.
of it, but nah. So all right, Then we have season 2. Did you win the Emmy for season 1 or season 2?
Season 1.
Season 1.
Season 2 is next year.
Oh, it's oh.
As far as nominations.
Okay. Because I was like, yeah, I was like, wait, no, because Ian's a part of season 2.
Yep.
But
yeah, so even Ian's episode, I mean, a few of these episodes may have a shot.
Oh.
It's this, we should have an art gallery pop up for a month or two where we take this blank space and we curate and design an Expressions in Black experience for people in Portland, out of town, down the street that can go in and experience all these stories and the imagery and the humans that are allowing us to tell their story. There should be an exhibit where you can go in there, because what you can learn about these individuals tell you a lot about Black history, about Black culture, and about Portland. And it's right here.
Yep.
Feel me? So just imagine having, the dream is to have all of these different folks on stage at the same time.
Ooh, boy.
And probably have an incredibly dynamic performance of stories being told live with this kind of crew. And just allowing, like, the biggest thing for me, bro, is just to make sure that people feel like when we turn our cameras on and we roll sound, their voice is going to be heard exactly as they express it. And that's critical. That doesn't happen very often. So it's like, don't hold back, completely be yourself, be true, trust us. We rock with you. You're super dope. Don't do anything that you normally wouldn't do on a daily basis. Keep it all the way funky, and understand that the story you're telling is a story that people are going to experience. So tap into your story mode in regards to, like, as you continue to talk, because these episodes, they're basically having a conversation with me the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You don't hear my voice in episode, but you hear their story. And so the way we ended up producing is very much how you and I are interacting, but it's while we're moving and while we're at locations, and the visuals are supporting, right? The
whole entire narrative.
The words that I'm putting on the page, there's also pictures that go along with it. So basically the episode with Ian, I just kicked it with him for today.
Yeah. And
we documented everything from his POV.
Yeah. And it's
cool cat.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, he's the co-host of the show. He gets to come in, sprinkle us with his presence every now and then.
As a king should.
Dude, it's a thing that I don't think people realize, like, creating content, like, what the work truly is to make these things happen. And to get to the point where not only, like, it's amazingly how you did it. Like, not only you're feeding yourself, you're feeding the community, you're telling the story correctly, you're telling it through our lens, you're showing us, because it's so easy to be, now I don't know the right way to say this, and if I say it incorrectly, forgive me. It's so easy to pigeonhole us to telling their stories of them, just to be like, hey, I don't want to be one of those Black directors that only do X, Y, Z for the Black community or do stuff with these faces. Like, I just want to be a director. And it's like, yo, that's amazing and that's incredible. But it's the same thing as, like, when people say, hey, it's not my responsibility to educate these white people about us. And I'm like, no, that's exactly the opposite. It's all of us responsibility to educate not only our people, but their people of our culture and our heritage.
But these we don't even start the shoot until we've had conversations with the talent and the characters, the folks that we're telling the story on.
Yeah.
Before we even turn the cameras on, we have a conversation about what story do they want to tell. Like, I'm not going to come to you and be like, this is how I want to tell your story. I'm coming to you like, yo, I'm about to put a major investment in telling your story. This is your opportunity to share
your narrative
in any way, shape, or form you want to share it. So in these Expressions in Black episodes, there was no conversation about you have to talk about what it's like to be black in the industry at all. You don't even got to say the word black. Minority, racism, none of that. Like, none of these stories were produced with this is what you have to do. Your name is Ian Williams. Your name is Jocelyn Rice. You're Jordan Carter. You're Bertoni Faustine. You're Adrian C. Nelson. I want you to tell your story the way you want to tell it, your part. If you only want to talk about your childhood, if you only want to talk about your industry, if you only want to talk about your personal life, if you only want to talk about being black in America, whatever it is, that's the story we're going to tell. And if black comes up and it become part of a conversation that people can learn about your experiences, then cool, it comes up. But I just want people, when they watch the episodes, I want people to get to know a human being.
Yeah.
And learn from their life, and maybe there's something in there that you can relate to or be motivated by or just feel good that you learned someone else's story through our lens. And so, like, that's it, bro. Like, that's it. There's rarely, we're not going to go with KD and LeBron and Kyrie and whoever and go shoot and be like, yo, here's this shoe. You got to talk about it. They don't come to Heart and Hustle to do that. They be like, yo, we want to tell Kyrie's story. Oh, and by the way, just let's make sure he's rocking the new shoes.
Yeah.
But we don't have to talk about the shoe.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing nothing corny, generic. Period. So it's just like, cool. We're gonna come tell this dude's story. Let's rock. Yes, it's okay if it's about an area, a specific area, but let him say what he wants to say.
Baltimore, not Boston.
Baltimore, not Boston.
I think that really does need to be on the shirt.
Hey,
dude, I'm just saying.
That was wild, bro. Because you were like, bro, you've been spending a lot of time in Boston and doing all these stories about Boston, you know, and I was like, bro, last time I was in Boston, maybe when Ime was out there coaching and we're like, let's go support him. Boston, the Celtics, maybe, but no, we've been in Baltimore.
My bad.
And Baltimore and Boston are night and day.
We also had
oranges and grapes.
We had Bima and Dre Mayo both in here. They're both from Boston, right? Yeah. So I might have been. Wait, no. Don't tell me they're both from Baltimore. You know what? Just forget it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it no more.
From Boston.
All right. So before I even let you out of here, first off, we're gonna do a couple of the quick segments, and I'm gonna let you leave it off with you telling us at least a little bit of a Kobe story, and then
everybody wants a Kobe story,
and then yo, my man Kevin Durant, because yeah. But all right, so we do a couple of different segments on here. One of them we came up with our homie, shout out to Dre Mayo, that we stole from Dave Chappelle. I don't know if you remember the racial draft.
Oh my goodness! You know what? I just saw that the other day for the first time,
dude. So we are the black delegation. We're the black delegation, and we are now going to pick who's going to be inducted into.
Snooky now.
Going to be inducted to the black. So yeah, if there was anyone you could into the black culture, they welcome to the cookout.
Oh,
so it was the thing that we're
inviting somebody to the barbecue.
They did Tiger Woods on the Dave Chappelle episode. I recently said that we would take on what's the dude's name from Golden State? I always mess it up. Steph Curry. Steph Curry's officially black now.
You don't think he was there?
No, I mean, if Tiger Woods had to get an official black stamp, then Steph Curry,
high yellow.
He had to get an official black stamp. I would say only because, man, this is messed up.
Say it. If it's messed up, let me hear what you.
Only because he's a little soft in certain areas. Steph, and I need him to. He ain't never. He ain't never been on the court and had a full-on nigga moment.
He protects his brand.
He protects his brand, and he's done everything in the correct way in the sense of being like, hey, I want to make affordable shoes. Hey, I could sit up here and go with this brand, but instead I want to do this. Like,
what you want him to do, though? You want him to get a tattoo of Mike Tyson on the side of his neck or something?
No. I mean, to be fully honest, it's messed up.
Tupac tat on the shoulder?
Even though he's from Cali. It would be amazing to see him come out with Snoop Dogg and just doing the Crip walk. That'd be hilarious. With a bottle of Henny.
Hey,
nah.
Behind closed doors, like without the world seeing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you probably would know. How many commercials?
Steph's
you done
a brother.
with Steph?
Steph's a brother. I haven't done no commercials. with Steph.
Okay.
But I rock with Steph though.
Dude, amazing. So, anyways,
all them cats are not exactly what you think media has painted their picture to be. Real brothers though.
Yeah. So who would you like to elect
from just where, like, any industry,
anything,
or sports,
and
or
it doesn't even have to be sports. It can be hip hop. It can be pop culture. I said Darth Vader. I said Anakin Skywalker. He's white. Darth Vader. He's a nigga.
Yeah, he for sure was. James Earl Jones.
The voice is black. This is why I said. It. Anakin Skywalker.
That's what you meant.
White. Darth Vader.
Let's see. Bro.
P.S. I gotta definitely do James Earl Jones is one of the
James Earl Jones
from one of
he is Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. People didn't understand when I said it. Dude, all right. This week I'll do this. I'll do mines for this week. Or for today. I can't remember dude's name, but as soon as I say it, you're gonna understand. Just because she's shown that black stepdads are a thing. Sierra's husband. He's officially black now.
Russ.
Oh,
so you talking about all the light skinned cats that's right on the edge?
You can say
everybody you name so far has just been a light skinned cat.
I was just saying him because the show Black Fathers are a real thing. That we good as dads, that black men don't cheat, that he stood up here and took care of a child that is not his own, but it's not my blood, but it's mine.
Russ a pass.
So that's who I would say, hey, if you don't want that, I'll go back with it and give you my number one pick of a brother that's not always been deemed a brother. Oh man. Why am I blanking on his name? Carlton Winslow. Or isn't it Winslow? Will Smith?
No, Winslow is the
Carlton.
Urkel.
Yeah. No, Carlton.
No, Winslow is from Family Matters, bro.
The Carlton.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. His name is Carlton.
Yeah, but it's not Winslow.
Yeah, I know it's not Winslow. What? I don't remember what it is. Phelps Banks. Carlton Banks. Yeah. Carlton Banks, officially black.
How? Why?
Because Carlton used to dance like this and play in Neil Diamond.
So why you giving him his black card?
I'm because the white community could have took him and we claim it. We nailing it down.
Damn.
Carlton, you are officially black.
Hey.
And he said that while did you not see what he did online at a comedy show? Oh, bruh. Think of yours or say what yours is. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. This is a wild moment. You know what I'm talking about, Jesus?
How about the one cat Brady? What's Brady's name?
Brady. Only Brady.
He used to host some shows.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady. The black delegation would like to claim Wayne Brady.
Listen. Hey, everybody should be on the team. Anybody, listen, you know the mulatto rule. If you're a quarter black, you're going to be treated like you black.
Oh, dude. No. It's, if you got a drop of black blood,
don't feel like all light-skinned cats got to be drafted into the black club.
No, I'm not. I'm just giving the ones that happen to have situations.
You talking about Steph. You look at me and you talk about Steph. You look at me and you talk about Russ. You be like, everybody, that's your shade. That's your color shade.
I wasn't. Hey, there's no colorism here.
That's why I threw Wayne Brady out there. It's like, all right,
Yo, Wayne Brady went through the same situation with Dave Chappelle. They had a whole entire beef because he said Wayne Brady makes Bryant Gumbel look gangster or something like that.
Hey, that's true, bro. Hey, Chappelle don't lie.
No, he don't. He never does. Like
facts.
he might be a little controversial. Hold on, let me see if I can get this. Why?
Bryant Gumbel.
Carlton Banks.
What do you do now, bro?
But anyways, I'm trying to get it to come up. What's his name? His real name? Can you look it up for me, Jesus? While you're back there, just real quick. Just throw it on the on one. And just see if you can look up. His name's on the tip of my tongue, but Carlton Banks, white girl.
Y'all don't know it?
I like how y'all also got computers and phones over there.
Carlton Banks. Yeah,
Alfonso. Yeah, dude.
Alfonso, what? That's got to be a hard role to play.
Just put white girl. Show. All right.
Alfonso
Ribeiro. Yeah.
White girl show? That's the Google search?
Just look up. Yeah. Just send him to me. Just send it. Just text it over.
You said that on TV?
Yo, bro, he did this at a show. He wild out. It was amazing. All right, so while I'm looking this up, so this next segment we do is called Grind Your Beans. You talk about what's annoying you, irking you, bothering you. It can be big, it can be small, it can be deep, it can be shallow, but Rashad, please tell us what's grinding your beans.
Man, it's a list. It's a list, bruh.
Hey, it's allowed to be.
There's a lot of things that irk me. And those things change as I live longer and grow older, become more aware of certain things, more conscious towards certain ideas. But, man, I don't know. I think, like, hearing people say they're tired, hearing people say, I want to do this, I'm going to commit to that, I'm dedicated to this, and then their actions don't back it up. Then they make excuses. People that don't pay attention. And that's just in all capacities, whether you drive in or you walk in or you work in or complainers, people that complain. Basically all the stuff that's like you want to tell somebody, you either want to slap them or you want to tell them, bruh, like,
you know how I know you play sports?
Go what are you telling me? What are you telling me? Because everything's a sport analogy, right? Well, so it's like you telling me if we're in a game and we're down 4 in the fourth quarter, you're not gonna get back on defense because you're tired,
bruh.
So if you look at life, it's just like here's all these things, and it's just like finding the balance in being motivated, fighting the difficulties of being exhausted, being tired, but what part do you allow to control you? And so I think one of the things that grinds my beans the most is really just laziness and excuses, because everything else is super petty. I got hella petty stuff.
Give us one petty one. Just give us one petty one. Hey, yo, one of the ones I said and like it went crazy viral for us was I was just like, yo, fast food in Oregon getting you can't get food past like 9 o'clock.
Oh yeah,
in Portland
terrible.
At all.
Yeah.
Like fast food or anything, you just dying. It's a food desert.
Yeah, all that shit is terrible, bro. All that's terrible. I agree. I think chapped lips.
Oh, bro, why'd you have to say that? I'm sitting up here, been dying the whole entire time, been biting
chapped
my
lips
lip.
is like, bro, like because there's two places you look at someone when you're having a conversation with them. You look at their mouth and you look at their eyes, and you just kind of constantly bah. Because if you just make eye contact the whole time, it's a little uncomfortable. So you got to go whoop whoop, bam bam. And so when you go down to the mouth, it's like, ooh, all right,
over there real quick.
Feel me? But when you look at like everything else, dude, it's like, I'm one of them cats. If I'm driving and there's a lane open, And so I'm going to go in this lane because time is money. I got to get to where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to do with that lane, and then you go over to cut me off because you don't want me to move at the speed I'm moving.
Yeah.
Like you try to move over and stop me. Like that kind of hate.
Don't slow you down.
That kind of hate. Because I'm a merger. I know how to merge. Like I grew up driving in the Bay. I grew up a stick shift in San Francisco. Like but look, this is a metaphor though.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm a good swerver because when I shift lanes,
mm-hmm.
even metaphorically, you're not gonna have to slam on your brakes.
Yeah.
Even though I may move over here, you're not gonna have to slam on your, like I'm a great merger where everybody can keep going at their speed. I just know where I got to get to where I'm going. And so every time someone tries to come over and it's like they see you making progress and then they try to slow you down,
mm-hmm.
I'll just go in the shoulder. I'll do whatever it takes, even if there's a little bit of danger going over here.
Yeah.
To get to where I'm trying to go.
Allegedly.
That's a metaphor.
Allegedly.
That's a metaphor.
Okay.
I'm a safe driver. I'm 10-2.
Yo, so what you're saying is you grind your beans for this episode because we bring you back for another one because we only gonna get one Kobe story. What grinds your beans is people that slow you down and give you excuses. That's what's grinding your beans. I respect that. I
You know why? Because ultimately it makes me spend time thinking about some stuff. It could just go in one ear out the other. But when you hear people, especially people that you care about, and you either hear laziness in their voice or complaint, it's just so negative. And then it makes me spend the energy to not hear it because I don't want it to have an impact on me. I don't want to have any negative thoughts and complaints and excuse. I don't want any of that to come into my atmosphere. Like I don't want it to come in. And then I'm also disappointed that, you're feeling this way and then you're making those excuses or, so it's just like, that's more personal. Like, because I keep my circle super tight and those that are around me that I care about and I hear that in their voice, the first thing I do is put a shield around me so it doesn't penetrate.
Shut it down.
The second thing is like, then it becomes kind of this conversation that's probably a little uncomfortable about, all right, cool, what about this? Okay, what about that? And they want to keep themselves in that negative thought. That shit bugs me, bro.
Hey, bro, I understand. All right. So quickly, 2 minutes. Can you
don't come at me with no bullshit.
I learned a lot about Mr. Floyd today. All right.
It's just the truth, bro.
So 2 minutes. Can you give us a quick Kobe story?
Kobe Bryant, Bean, Black Mamba. I would say the last time I was with Kobe, we were shooting some international stuff for FIBA because he was helping grow the game of basketball internationally.
Mm-hmm.
Which what a perfect icon and image to help grow the game of basketball all over the world. Man, Kobe, when he walks into a room, he has that persona that immediately people pay attention. You drop what you're doing when Kobe walks in the room.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. It could be nothing he's doing. He could just be walking. And you see the impact he has on people. And it's a way he carries himself. Same with Bron, like same with iconic people, Barack, everybody. Like those people that society has put them on that pedestal in that position, they carry that with them. And so, like Chappelle walked in there. Like that's a GOAT. You know a GOAT immediately. George, like you know who these people are. Mandela, like you Oprah, you just these people, Tyler Perry, like they have this presence. And so Kobe walks in a room and he loves to fuck with people. Off top, because he knows that you're on your P's and Q's and you're like, oh my gosh, this is Kobe. Like this, this is people. So I'm just checking him out because I know Kobe. I'm checking him out. I'm like, who he's about to fuck with. Kobe's about to go in on somebody, bro. And every opportunity he has to make someone feel a certain way where they get super nervous or scared, and then he flips it. And it's like, I was fucking with you. It's all good. He pats you on the back, and then that person is sweating. And they're like drenched in the anxiety that Kobe gave him. So we're on set, and Kobe walks on set, And the sound tech is, I introduced him to the sound tech, like, yo, we're going to throw a mic on you. He's getting ready to come in front of the camera. And Kobe,
I love the fact that this is a 2-minute Kobe story, by the way.
Kobe how many minutes is it?
No, you good. I'm just trying to make sure I know you're a busy man.
Kobe, yeah. I'll wrap this up. Look, Kobe ended up only speaking Italian to the sound tech, and the sound tech had no idea what he was saying, and Kobe made him think that he only spoke Italian.
How?
And I'm watching this interaction between them two, and I'm dying because I'm like, bro, how many times have you seen Kobe on camera speak English? And so dude's trying to communicate with him, and Kobe's totally acting like he doesn't have no idea what dude is talking about. And it went on for like a minute and a half. And then soon as like dude just kind of started getting frustrated because Kobe was like, no. Speaking Italian, Kobe just like, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think I speak English? Said it just like that, bro. You don't think I speak English? And dude was like, oh my gosh. And dude was kind of like square and different and everything else already. And so when Kobe did that to him, it was comedy. And I've seen Kobe do that time and time again where he speaks 6-7 languages fluently, and he's able to keep this stoic face. Mm-hmm. Like he's the ultimate prankster where he could keep a look on his face, the poker face, knowing that he's messing with you. And he gets away with it, and the way it makes people feel, first it breaks the ice and loosens everybody up, because if he just came in with that stoic face, everybody would just like, it's a presence that's so penetrating and dynamic. Kobe could make anybody do anything.
I think that's like there's that same personality in the way of like messing around with. I feel like LeBron kind of has to, but doesn't have. And this other person, Jordan, doesn't have that. Like he's a prankster too, but it's different in like seeing the
Jordan will just punk you.
Yeah, like seeing the documentaries and stuff about Jordan and how he talks. Speaking of which, really quickly, we got to do this because it's my favorite thing in the world. All right.
Hey.
We do a game where we basically do the shoe version of Fuck, Marry, Kill, but it's what are your everyday pair? What are the greatest pair of all time, and which ones would you get rid of?
Ooh, to be honest with you, there's a few I would get rid of.
Yep.
But I'm Jordan through and through, especially on my feet.
Mm-hmm. So
the ones is every day.
Ones is every day?
I like the ones every day.
Okay.
The ones and the fours have always been my favorite.
Okay.
Occasions, the 11s, the 5s, the 9s.
But what's the GOAT?
Like
what's
the GOAT for me is the 4s.
The 4s? Okay.
The 4s. I mean, design-wise, aesthetically, how it came onto the scene.
The Spike Lee joints?
Them joints is wild, bro. The ones is everyday staple. Mm-hmm. 4s is all-time favorite. You can get rid of the 22s, 17s, 18s,
what?
19s, 21s.
Okay.
Shout out to all the designers out there, because I rock with you still. Mm-hmm. But just keeping it funky.
Dude,
there's a few of them that we can get rid of. But where do you go, bro? Like, you're trying to get to Mars, so it's like
I agree with you on the 4s.
Yep.
I agree with you on the 4s. Mine's has always been the ones that I would kill and get rid of. The ones.
How dare you, bro?
All right, you want to hear my reasoning?
I'm gonna put my jacket on.
Let me give you my reasoning
now
real
you're from
quick.
Boston. See, I almost had you being from Baltimore.
Wait, you gotta hear my reasoning, and then you'll
put my
understand.
jacket on
you might be able to help me out with this. You gotta hear the reason though.
Oh, bro.
All right, so the reasoning is,
you wild.
I wear a size 15. All the NBA players.
Well, you wear a size 15?
I wear a size 15. All the NBA players.
I bet you wish you was 6'5". Should be 6'5", bro.
Why you
6'6"?
See, you throwing these little jabs?
No, I'm just keeping
too.
it funky, bro. Have you seen big? I got some big homies that wear size 9. Like, ooh, you off balance. Like, damn.
I'm stable.
That's tough.
I'm hard to knock over.
But you're not 6'5". You wearing 15s.
I'm wearing 15s.
So then people are just like, damn, why I keep tripping over him, even though he's normal height, but he got a size fit. That's crazy. Did you think that you was gonna be super tall and it never happened?
Damn, why'd you gotta say it like yo? I'm still like 6'1".
But 15s is wild, bro. If I saw you on campus and you was at the employee store,
look, the boots,
and I saw you grab a 15, if I'm standing next to you, bro, and you grabbed a 15 off the shelf, I'd be like, who are those for? That's dope though, because you be turning them corners.
Dude, you know what's really messed up? I also have huge hands.
That's cool.
I should have been in like the NBA. But I never grew because I never ate my vegetables. So I messed up. I got
so you couldn't get ones in size 15. That's the problem.
No, I couldn't get never.
But that's why
Never.
though. So you just hate. Why would you just hate? Because you can't get them,
Bruh. You know what it's like?
Come
because
on, man.
everyone loves and
don't
wears
do me
them,
that.
and then you have every NBA player. I live in Portland. I'm a DJ. I have had so often different people from the agency world be like, hey, yo, you killed it. We love you. Yo, let us throw you a pair. Word. Every time I request. Every time I request.
So it's a hate.
Every time
It's
I
a
get
hate.
denied.
It's a hate.
No, it's
a
a
hate.
love that I'll never
That
get
you hate.
returned.
The love that you hate to love.
It's a love that I'll never get returned. All right, cool. So now that we're done with that, just real quick, we'll do this, and this is going to be our Sounds About White for today. We do a segment called Sounds About White,
Yes.
but we're gonna instead do this. Oh man.
Oh, hold on. I'm reading the caption. Ain't no way in the world that boy said that. No way.
Oh god, this is the best. All right, let me make sure.
Not Carlton, bro.
Wait, is it not? Why am I not getting sound? Oh god. Wait. No. Oh.
Wait, Larry King did not say that.
Wait, what?
What? Whoa.
I have been known to fuck some white girls in my lifetime.
Oh my gosh.
Now I have spent my life on some TMZ, and every time you see me in a club, guess who I walk out with? A lovely blonde white chick.
That boy in the snow? That boy in the snow?
Every motherfucking time.
Wow.
You full of shit, motherfucker.
Gotta blame Uncle Phil on that, bro.
Come on now.
He tries to start rapping about it. You know what? I'm not even gonna let.
Where is this?
I ain't
Well, I
gonna
need
do,
this, bro. Shoot this to me.
dude.
Shoot this to me.
I will, dude. I every time.
Wow.
I don't want to put your number on air. Every time I'll do it. But every time,
It's unacceptable, bro.
that's why I said Russell
Our
instead
Black
of saying,
Queens is
about instead of saying Carlton Banks.
man. Oof.
Sounds about right. All right, so this has been another episode of Your Morning Drip. Rashad, Floyd of Heart and Hustle. You coming back for another episode because
Let's
we
get
ain't even really getting to the sauce. We got
That
the
was chapter
juice,
one,
but
bro.
we need the sauce.
The hot sauce.
The hot sauce. Yes. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's supposed to be 8 a.m. We didn't do that this morning. Rashad, let the people know where they can find you, what you're doing, what you got going on, when season 3's coming out.
Ooh. Man, follow us on the gram at Rashad Floyd at Heart and Hustle Productions. You'll see the work. You'll see the blood, sweat, and years on there, man. We got a lot of dope stuff coming up, man. A ton of new collaborations. A lot of filmmaking, directorial debuts in certain genres. It's going to be exciting, bro. The cool part about it is we've been in this game for a minute, but you look at Dame right now.
Oh,
Look at Dame in his age. Look at Dame as where he is in his career, and he's in his prime. And so we're in our prime right now, and it's going to be exciting to watch. And look, I tell you, bro, when we win, when Heart and Hustle wins, we, the culture, the community, win because we are telling everybody else's story. Like we're telling everybody's story. We're not telling our story. Like we're not here to tell our story. We're here to tell everybody else's story. So the more success we have means the more people we get to be inspired by.
Yeah. Dude, brother, thank you for being on here. I'm so
It's
happy
love,
to
bro.
have you. Also, I'm so mad that we didn't get to talk about what happened with Dame after the game. They did that brother wrong.
Hey, that's the reality, bro. That's what happens.
You black and great.
That's what happens.
Anyways, yes, once again, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. It's been amazing. We're definitely bringing you back on here. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We out of here. Peace.
Holla.